Well, I'd say that what MD's getting here with me is a very experienced Premier League manager. Arguably, there's only 2 or 3 who've got more experience, games in the Premier League. I think I've probably got the biggest win rate out of a certain amount of managers as well. So I think if you're putting it that way, that's what I do. I win, that's what I do. I win, that's what I do. I win, that's what I do. I win.
I've gone and pissed myself. What do I look like covered in this? I look like a fucking loser drenched in piss. I was gonna sing about yourself, but at least I'm not lost all self-respect. Until now, because, oh fuck, I've gone and shit myself. Well, would you look at this? I'm all covered in piss and shit. Just earlier I was looking swell, but by golly now I smell. And that's too bad because I was gonna sing about yourself, but instead I shit and piss myself.
And there we go. Right, Nigel, there's my case.
Do you know what I was laughing at that, right? Because that cracks me up every time I watch it. Because you just picked out all the fucking worst games. Totally ignore everything else.
There ain't been that many good
ones. All the worst games and put them on. It's a great
show.
tune.
This is going to go. But anyway, look, we've got a full house. It's a Sunday night show. We ain't going to talk about Liverpool. Fuck it. It was boring. We don't want to talk
boring.
About it. It was rubbish.
Boring, was it?
It was boring.
It was like a training game night. It was like a training game.
It was. I think it was boring from Liverpool's perspective as
well.
Goals
they weren't
on it. They weren't on it. You know. So
I think Micky's goal. That was right in front of us. Probably the only time I looked up from having a chat with John.
I'll tell you what. Two very good headers, but the Liverpool defending though. That's what I mean. They're vulnerable. They're so static. We should have gone at them a little bit more. But let's not get into it. Anyway, look, we've got John back on a Sunday night show. You all right, John?
Oi, oi.
Yeah, I'm on overtime. I'm on paid overtime, aren't I?
Meter's running.
And we've got Micky back. He's all recovered from his bug that he had. You all right, Mick?
I'm all right, mate. I've got my voice back. Yes.
Okay,
I know he's all fucking hell. What a nightmare. He's got his voice back.
Yeah. And you know, Gary is, you know, I am. Yeah. And I'm sure you've all seen the trailer by now. Nigel was put together a case.
He's sitting back in his chair.
Look. Nigel was put together a case, and he's well aware of the channel that he's on. You know, if
the reason I'm sitting this far back is because obviously without my glasses, I definitely can't see what they're saying about
You don't want to see the chat.
So
you do not want to be looking at the chat.
I've already read some of it, Mr. Mace. I'll come to you later.
Yeah.
It's a load of fucking bollocks. I don't care. I don't care.
Right. So Nigel knows a channel that he's coming on. He's basically trying to do me out of £100 with his mate Sean. So he's working on behalf of the club and Sean to put together a case as to why David Moyes should be given a new contract next season.
Oh no, I told you yesterday he was getting ready to pay out. Yeah.
But right, so Nigel, Adge, how are you anyway? First, before we get going.
All right. Yeah, been good. Good.
You're
working hard, mate. Working hard. But
not slowing up.
I wish it was.
Mate, I had one of your days the other day. Was it Thursday last week, Gary? It was a 24-hour shift.
Yeah.
We couldn't get the engineer resource, so I had to put me fucking. I had to get me kit on.
Do you know what? I actually loved them days without boring people.
Yeah, it was. I don't know.
Far better than office work, mate. I'll tell you.
You're still travelling, Nigel?
No.
No.
I've still got my tools. I go into central London, but
that's right then.
No travelling there.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's get into this then. So, Nigel, we're going to let you kick off. Right? We're going to let you kick off before I kick off and before we all kick off.
I thought we was going to have like a brief talk about the game, like fit and everything, but you just want to go straight into it.
We're just going to go straight into what? There's no point pussyfooting around this, Nigel.
No.
To be honest,
so look, this is what I've done. So for those that don't know, I do write for my own website every now and again. Andy, if you're watching, very sorry, mate. But I've put an article in to go out in the next couple of days I sit around. Obviously, I do watch Claret and Blues, though I obviously
You've got the
don't
fucking
really.
name wrong. You can't watch it that
Yeah.
much.
I don't partake a lot in the comment section because I think they're all fucking mad, as well as you lot at times.
This ain't going to do you any good in the comment section, mate.
mate.
I've got
Enjoying the build-up, Nigel.
It's all fuzz, so I can't read anything. It's all a blur. So, what I've noticed is a lot of channels. Obviously, there's a lot of bad noise around Moyes. But not only that is that even the majors, everything's all about who's the new manager going to be next season, and they list the suspects. The Fonsecas, who don't look like he's ever managed a club for 3 years running. Though he's had some success and some failures. You got Lopetegui, who I thought did okay at Wolves, to be honest, but obviously fell out with the board, had it off on his toes, threw his toys out the pram. But then Gary O'Neill's come in and done a good job there.
Done a better job with less players.
Yeah, Amorim has done, whoever he is at Sporting Lisbon, is it?
Yeah.
If the Conference League's a 10-pot cup, Nick, what's the Portuguese league then?
Oh, well, okay. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
So
Amorim's not fit to lace Moyes' boots because he ain't won the Conference Cup. That's fair enough with a 500 million bad squad. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, go on.
All I said was, if the Conference League's a 10-pot cup, what is the Portuguese league?
You still gone up against Porto and Benfica, who are a very, very good team. So to be top of any European league, you've got to be a good team.
I'm not disputing. You're good in that league.
Fonseca won the triple double with the Ukrainian side, Shakhtar Donetsk.
Oh, Shakhtar Donetsk,
and he won the first Lille with Lille. He won the first cup, I think, in 50 years.
No, Fonseca's done well, but he's never stayed anywhere long enough.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah, but Nigel, what's the shelf life for managers anyway?
2.5 years. 2.5 years in the Premier League.
But Nigel, can you, if we're going to go about talking about how poor managers that are currently linked with us are, I mean, you'll probably say, that like this other guy, you probably haven't seen it, like this Eusebio De Francesco managing Frosinone. Look at what they've done lately. Can you tell me, what did David Moyes do?
They called Frosinone.
Yeah,
sorry, was it?
Yeah, but Nigel, tell me what David Moyes did in his 2 or 3 jobs before he came to West Ham. Was he good?
No. To be fair, I think he was. If he was a bottle of wine, he'd be called Vin Ordinaire, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
It'd be a table wine. It's bland. Is possibly a good description of his Everton team.
Yeah.
Oh, he did well at Everton at a time when possibly there was only 4 teams. There was only a big 4, not a big 6 or a big 7 if you throw Newcastle in. But he still managed to get Everton in the fourth. I think he did it twice. Get on 4th. Once they felt getting the Champions League.
But as you said, it was a different league back then.
And it was a different league. Man United, actually, if you compare him to not Ferguson, so if you compare him to the other managers, he didn't do that bad. I think because he was the first one to follow Fergie.
Context for Man U, please, because what he did there is he went in, he threw Alex Ferguson's entire infrastructure and organisation in the bin.
I think Moyes was the reason for the downfall after Fergie because he gutted the backroom staff.
Yeah.
But he did. He got rid of everyone. Everyone. He got rid of everyone. They had like a winning machine there. And he got rid of everyone.
He clearly discussed it with Moyes because he clearly discussed it with Ferguson because Ferguson went round and told all his senior backroom staff, because he built a massive organisation over 20 years that won all those things. You can't run Man United by yourself as being the main man. You can't. You need to delegate, right? And Fergie told all his main men, especially ones that have been there 30 years, don't worry, nothing's going to change, right? Yeah. He came in and said, everything's going to change. You're all sacked. Bye.
Well, that was it. When it John, wasn't it? Rene Mullenstein. It was on Talksport that done that talk as well.
Yeah, Mullenstein, and he had a crack at being a manager, didn't he? Rene Mullenstein. Remind me how well he done anyway.
But he was a core part of Ferguson's backroom staff, though.
Steve McLaren.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean a coach is going to go on to be a great manager. But it doesn't mean that they weren't important members of staff.
No, but if you look at his you look at his win ratio. Yeah, there's been a few Man United managers that would have loved that. That would have liked that.
But you've got you've just inherited the champions, right?
Hold up.
No,
you've just inherited the worst Man United team.
They were still champions. They were still champions.
Yeah,
and he added to that about another 100 million's worth of talent.
And then
he could only get 67% wins.
Shittiest Man United. Look at the Man United team.
But Nigel, I will stop interrupting you when you get on to sort of talking about Moyes rather than discrediting everyone else.
I'm not discrediting. I'm just putting points of view.
But what I want to do is right. So you got Man United. What I was referring to was fucking Sunderland, who spent more with David Moyes than they ever did with any manager before him, and they went down with him. And John's got a story, right? I'm going to spring this on you, John. John had someone in the back of his cab. This is kind of because we got attacked a little while ago with having a go at the man's character, the type of person that he is. John, please tell this story about the type of person that David Moyes is.
I told you this story a couple of months ago, didn't I?
Yes. In the comments, Lynn.
So I picked up a geezer from the city somewhere, and he was going up to Islington. And he had a northeast accent. Got talking to him, and he was a Sunderland fan. And he went, "Who do you support?" I said, "West Ham." And I fucking can't stand Moyes. I went, "Oh, why's that then?" Like he went, "Well, I'll tell you a story." And he was genuine. He said, "Me and my family, we're big Sunderland fans. We live in Islington now. Me and my two boys." He said, "They're born Londoners." He said, "But because of me and my dad, their granddad, we got season tickets. We travel up to Sunderland every home game. You know, it's a long old way, etc., etc." He said that his boy's been a mascot twice. One of his boys has been a mascot twice at Sunderland. One was when Allardyce was in charge, and one was when Moyes was in charge. And he said the difference.
Should be safe for the second one.
He said the difference in the way we were treated was chalk and cheese, and this is why I hate Moyes. He said when my boy was a mascot under Allardyce, we was brought into the dressing room. We was shown around the dressing room. One of the players was having a massage, and Allardyce made a joke and went, "Oh, why don't we get the lad on and give him a massage?" They got the little boy on, giving him a massage. And he was just incorporated into it, and he felt very much part of it, went onto the pitch, had a great day, etc., etc. Fast forward to when his boy was a mascot under Moyes, completely different. Shut out of the changing room, wasn't allowed into the changing room. They went to go in. One of Moyes', I don't know who it was, shut the door, said, "Sorry, you can't come in here," blah, 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 blah. They was playing Arsenal that day. Some of the Arsenal players recognised, sort of felt a bit sorry for him or whatever when they came back in from being warming up or whatever. They've signed a shirt. They've all signed a shirt, give him the shirt, tried to make him feel part of it in the Arsenal changing room, who were the away team.
Yeah.
And he said when they went out on the pitch, the boys obviously gone out with the team warming up, etc. And this is not me making this up. This is what the geezers told me in the back of my cab. Now, he could be bullshitting, but, just telling you what he told me. He said that Moyes was on the pitch. The dad's standing there watching his kid, pleased as punch, proud as you can be. And he said Moyes was on the sideline, come out of the tunnel, standing. And he said, like, "Who are you? Are you one of," I can't remember the
Ellis's, you said.
Ellis's. He said, "Are you one of Ellis's mates?" Like, all sarcastically. And the dad went, No, my boy's on the pitch. He's a mascot." He went, oh, and he didn't say anything, and he walked away. And he said and he said, taking the results away from it, taking the relegation away from it, and all of that went with it. He said the way that he felt treated by Moyes on that day makes him hate Moyes. Now that is a story genuinely told to me in the back of the cab by a Sunderland fan. I wouldn't make shit up for the sake of it.
No.
For clicks or anything like that. It's a genuine story. I told Nick that 4 to 6 weeks ago, and he's fucking sprung it on me tonight, the bastard. But you've
recited it. Well, you've recited it word for word, to be honest. But
and I mean that, mate, because I'm not a Moyes hater, as you probably know. I think he should go. But when I heard that story, I was like, wow. If that's true, for me as a West Ham fan, with a kid who's a West Ham fan, if that happened at West Ham, whoever the manager was, I'd be like, fuck you. And I can understand it from that perspective,
So that's it. So Nigel, so this is a man that you're about to defend and say needs to stay at West Ham without all the bad results in the Premier League for the last season. No doubt you're going to incorporate the first 2 years, COVID years, and everything else. Because it should really, when you get an appraisal at work, Nige, it's not over the last 4 years. It's normally the last year. If you were being generous, you'd go 2 years. So if you just look at the last 2 years in the Premier League, that's normally what you would appraise him on. So. What? Okay, so.
One, I don't think I said I was going to defend him.
You did.
So you did let me say. Now, what I said was... is
the case for Moyes.
Yeah, the case for Moyes. So basically, everybody is saying, what about him, what about him, what about him? No one is saying, what about Moyes?
Well, there are a few.
Mainstream media. Oh, yeah,
no one.
Be careful what you wish for.
Well,
Be careful
not
what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for.
I'm talking about the written media. You look in the papers, you look on the socials, you look on the websites. People are writing about. Sky Sports are talking about. Forget about the individual. What about Moyes people? And I get it in a way with the likes of the Alan Shearers and all them, where they turn around and go, "What about Moyes?" Or don't be careful what you wish for. But then when you go, okay, Eddie Howe's not doing a good job. Do you want David Moyes to replace him? They'll run for the hills.
Yeah.
So I get that part of the argument. Obviously, because I can defend David Moyes, or because I can give a case, of why West Ham could possibly give David Moyes another contract.
Could or should, Nigel?
Could. There is a difference.
This is different.
Yeah. I never said should.
You did earlier. You was winding me up then because you said I'm building a case as to why West Ham should offer David Moyes a contract.
Nick.
Nigel's looking at it from devil's advocate sort of thing.
Right.
The reasons, if you were to think Moyes should
just
be
writing a case for Moyes being manager next season. That is what I said.
I'm writing a case for Moyes being manager next season.
Yeah, a case. So
go on then, Nigel. Let's see your case.
Okay. I won't interrupt you anymore.
I've got a question for you all.
I'm not going to
This is part of it.
Order.
It's a question for you all.
Go on.
Can I ask one at a time? Yeah.
Go on.
What is the point of football? Of playing football?
Entertainment.
What is the point?
Entertainment, enjoyment.
How do you define entertainment? But what is the actual point of football?
Entertainment.
For me, it's fun and entertainment on the pitch, which is drawn from attacking football, where we try to beat teams.
And how do you beat teams?
You get on the front foot and you try to take the game.
How do you win games?
Well, you try to impose your game. You try to impose your game on them, Nige. That's what you try and do.
Well, that's the point. The actual point of football, as John pointed out, is to score goals. Yeah? Goals are fun, people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've always said.
Especially against you. Especially against you this year.
Possibly. Yeah. Sometimes, though, Mick, you can watch a game where you lose 4-3 and think, fuck me, I've been entertained.
I agree.
That was like that under Redknapp, a lot like that under Redknapp.
So, no, there was like, I remember when we lost 5-1 to Leeds, I walked out, we had 3 players sent off, I was thoroughly entertained and we'd lost 5-1. Yeah. And I still never forgot that game.
Yeah, I remember that game. Yeah.
Right. So, and this is the thing. So if goals are fun and goal scoring is the point of football, actually, then when you look at the amount of goals that West Ham have scored under David Moyes and compare it to every other Premier League season West Ham has played in.
But you can't compare it to every other Premier League season. He's had 500 million to spend.
Let him finish.
That's all relevant, isn't it? Because there's more money awash with football, so you got to spend more money to compete. Redknapp weren't given 500 million, because you didn't need 500 million to buy players. Yeah, he didn't have to spend 40 million to buy John Hartson. He had to spend 5. But that was a lot of money back then. So it's all relative there. We can all use this 500 million. If you look where the starting point as well, he had to start from the bottom, not from the top. So, which I suppose Redknapp did. But Redknapp got afforded 3-4 years. So if you, just to bear it down, if you take this season, Nick,
he's had 4 years.
He's had, but he's done a far lot in his first 4 years. He's done far more than what Redknapp did in his first 4 years.
Yeah. Again, it is where we. I don't know if you saw the show.
Nigel. Redknapp gave us so much more in terms of.
I'm not talking about entertainment.
Can I just say can I just say, I've got honestly, I made a show the other day debunking Moyes nonsense, right? And I had to do it because there was just so much nonsense out there. I just wanted to compile it all together and debunk it. And the biggest mistake people make is when they draw stats, they draw it over the 4 years that he's been here.
Yeah.
Because you can do that.
I'm saying this season.
You can pretend, for instance, that the COVID season was a normal season, but nobody in their right mind thinks that the COVID season was a normal season. The away games were like home games. Some of the teams were badly affected by COVID. All right, we couldn't help that. You can only play who's in front of you, blah, 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 blah. But no one can say that was a normal season. We outperformed. We played really, really well that season. We finished above Spurs and Arsenal. When does that ever happen? When you look at the bottom 8 teams, you know, they didn't participate hardly because they were so hit by these injuries. And if you look at the run before we went into COVID, we were fucking awful, right? So COVID, really, the break for COVID, the 3 months where it was, we came back refreshed, firing on all cylinders. Then there was a break in the middle. Someone reminded me of this the other day, where Irvin took over for 4 games in Moyes, and we won nearly all those games, right? Yep. So it's not as black and white as you can't just take a high level macro view of stats and say this is what he's done, because that first season was the COVID season.
Yeah, but I've looked at every Premier League West Ham season, yeah, and what I've done is, so just to bring it up to date, if you take it after 35 games, how many goals has West Ham scored this season?
I looked.
I'll tell you,
not as many as we've conceded.
56.
But we've had one of the best front threes in the Premier League, Nigel, and one 56. Of the best. And for a period, you know, we've had Antonio as well.
Right. So where is it? So there we go. So this is a current table. 35 games. We've conceded we've scored 56. We've conceded 65. We're on a -9 goal difference.
We don't. Yeah, but we're only celebrating the goals that we scored, Nick. And this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, and this is the thing. Yeah, goals are fun.
Who's only celebrating the goals that we score?
Well, we don't celebrate the goals that we concede, do we? West Ham fans.
But a lot of the time,
no, you might. I don't know, Nick.
A lot of the goals that you score in these situations, they're meaningless because you know.
They're meaningless.
No. Well, they are. If it's 4-2 and you score 2 goals.
Oh. But if it's 2-2 and you get a point, you've got 2. But at the end of the day, so we've scored 56 goals this season.
Do you
is that a good return for
Is that a good return? Now you're ready. Are you ready now?
And
how many other Premier League seasons after 35 games do you think we've scored?
We've never had 4 players up front like that.
Newcastle.
All these excuses.
Nigel.
No, it's not an excuse. If we had the Villa manager, we'd be in the Champions League.
Nigel. Aston Villa have scored 73 fucking goals.
Yep.
Newcastle have scored 74.
Yep.
West Ham have scored 56. No, but what I don't understand. But this is like an argument. But what I'm saying is, this is like an argument to keep Moyes. Like if we would have had an argument to keep him back when Aston Villa went and got Emery. Imagine if we'd have got Emery. There is no argument to stick with David Moyes, Nigel. There just is not. Because at the end of the day, when people come out and they say
because I think you're blinded by your hatred towards him.
It ain't
maybe I was to Allardyce.
I think it's quite factual.
I can look at it. I can look at it and go, hold up. West Ham, and this is the thing, we're West Ham fans, so I compare us to West Ham. I don't go out because I don't support Villa, I don't support Newcastle.
But we're competing against these teams, Nigel. We're competing against them.
Why do you think 56 goals with the front 4 that we've got is a good return? Because I don't think that's a good return. You might take take the lens of a typical Moyes inner and say we're little old West Ham, 56 goals is good. But we've spent a fortune on those players. They are top draw.
No. See, everybody keeps going on about spending a fortune, and a fortune is relative, as I say, to the amount of money now of watching a game and everything. When you look at our spending total,
but Nigel, has it been spent well? What sort of rebuild have we got to do this summer after 4 years of David Moyes building a project and building a squad? What situation are we in now?
So, all right, let's look at it then. We're just saying we've got a great front 4. So, Kudus, spent well.
One of the best in the league, Nigel. One of the best in the league.
Spent well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Bowens is outstanding.
Paquetá spent well.
Oh, he didn't really sign him.
Yeah. But I'm talking about Nigel, the squad. You've got Zuma, you've got Aguero, who Moyes chased for 3 years and can't defend. You know, you've got Ogbonna who's on a contract who's going to go. You've got Cresswell who's going to go. The squad.
Johnson.
When you build a squad, if you look at any fucking Premier League manager worth their weight, They are constantly planning forward and planning ahead so that every window you haven't got to go out and buy 6 or 7 players because of the age profile. If you look at the players he wanted to buy in the summer, he didn't want Alvarez. He didn't want Kudus. He wanted to go out and buy McTominay and fucking Maguire.
Nige, I genuinely think, to answer your question, Nick, whoever said it, have we spent wisely? Yeah, we have. But the problem is that those players haven't been looked after. Beyond the first team squad,
there is that as well.
They haven't been looked after, Nigel. And at the end of the day, you know, look, I don't hate Moyes, believe it or not. I think he should go. Of course I do. But he hasn't looked after the assets that we've got. And that's the biggest problem because you have to keep, you know, football more than ever, right? He's reverting back to the Everton days, small squad, blah, blah, blah. Football, as 20 years ago, whenever it was, 15 years ago, it has moved on. It's evolved. Your squad is far more important than it ever was because we play more games than we ever do, especially if you're in Europe. You know, players are saying we're knackered. You need a squad. We have spent well, but Moyes hasn't looked after it well, in my opinion. And I mean the players. And all the statistics in the world don't take away what I'm seeing. And you see players sort of going into their shell, players not performing to the best of their ability.
So why ain't that the players' fault then?
Because Nigel, that's like me saying, if I slap my missus every night and she went and cheated on someone, whose fault is it? Hers or mine?
Yeah, well, it's a good analogy actually.
So is Moyes slapping the players in?
Well, if you set up, John.
But 1 second, Nigel, you're talking about stats. You're talking about high level stats, all right? Do you know what another interesting stat is this year? When you talk about goals that we concede, and this is all down to the way that West Ham play, we have only conceded less chances in our box than one other team. So this is not chances, touches in our penalty area. This is how deep West Ham sit. We've conceded it's only Sheffield United that have conceded more touches in their fucking penalty box than West Ham. This is a team that, as you've said, because I heard it on your show the other day on the More Than Just a podcast, when we went out against Leverkusen, we went out against them. You said on there, you know, there's an argument now. Well, look, they can play like that. Why don't they play like that every week? So this is the thing. You can't blame the players when they're not being set up the right way. If you've got all of this lovely attacking talent and you've got Paqueta, but you're using him like he's fucking Charlie Adam, he's going to look like Charlie Adam. That's what's going to happen. They're wasted. What I'm saying is a lot of the times, the players that we've got with the David Moyes system, they don't really get better. Kudus ain't worth any more than what he was when we brought him in. Alvarez might be. Because he's defensive.
Because apparently, if you believe the press, Nick, as you do,
mate, then, I don't think he is. He was just as impressive there, but like, Bowen is. Paqueta, I don't think Paqueta's worth more now. I don't. This last half a season.
But if you believe the press, Nick, yeah, then apparently he is worth far more than what we paid for him. Double.
Only the teams currently in the relegation zone have conceded more goals than us.
Only the teams.
But this is the thing.
In the relegation zone.
Have I argued against that? Have I argued against that?
But what you're saying is, you're just.
I've come on here, and what you're doing is I'll give you one reason, and it's bang, 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 bang.
Let us go on mute and let Nigel finish reading.
Right, okay.
All right. We started with goals. Let's
I
go
don't
on
need
mute.
to be. I was letting him go.
No, Micky, lighten the mood with a quick. We've got to
don't have to mute. What I'm saying is I ask a question and I'll say to you, how many other seasons after 35 games have we scored 56 goals?
Yeah, I think it's relative though, Nigel. It's relative.
I'll tell you, it's one.
Yeah, but it's relative.
I don't personally see the relevance in that stat for keeping David Moyes beyond now. I don't.
I'll tell you why. Because actually, when you look at it, there's a couple of things that I list in my article that'll be out tomorrow. In the wider club, and this is the thing, and I've done it before. You forget as well is there's loads of other reasons why West Ham may look at David Moyes as being the next one. One, West Ham's never sacked a manager that's got us in the top 10. Now, you can all shout at me and go, we'll probably finish 11th and 12th. Yes, but there's a good possibility. Well, there's a possibility, not a good one. Actually, I think it's died. But there is a possibility we could finish 7th. Because believe it or not, it seems like no one around that position wants to finish it.
Nige, I've got a question for you. I've got a question for you, Nige. And that is, right, all right, 56 goals. Let's take that as read, right? Now, how many of those goals outside of bear in mind what Pep Guardiola said about Moyes. Pep Guardiola said about Moyes what I believe, and that is everything in the final third is make up as you go along. There's no plan, right? So on the back of that, how many of those goals, set pieces aside, are down to a David Moyes attacking strategy versus individual brilliance?
I celebrate a goal. I don't sit
here
answer the question, and break it down as to I can't tell you how many goals were set pieces, how many goals.
But if you're going to give him credit for the 56 goals, Nige, you've got to say that he was responsible for it.
I didn't even get to the other part. Yeah. In that David Moyes has managed us for 4 seasons. And if you take 35 games as the bar, and I'm taking that as the bar because that's where we are at this moment, 56 goals, Moyes this season. Bilic after 35 games, 57. Yeah. Then Moyes, 56. Then Moyes, 52. Then Moyes, then Moyes, 53. Then Moyes again, 53. Then Harry,
we're finished 52. COVID, 7th, 14th, and now 10th-ish.
So for that reason, yeah, David Moyes, in his 4 seasons as West Ham manager, has 3 of the top 4 seasons for scoring goals. 3 of the top 4 seasons for scoring goals.
So going back to my question, you're giving him credit for it. Nigel, you're giving him credit for it.
Is the point of football?
You're giving him credit for those goals.
One second, Gary. 1 second. Are you saying that nothing else matters? Nothing else matters in football.
I'm breaking football down as to what is the point of football. That was my question. What is the point of football? And I believe the point of football is to score goals.
Well, no, I'll tell you what. Let me ask John. For you and your son going to watch West Ham, what's the point of football? What's the actual point of football?
Entertainment, whether it be losing 4-3 or winning 3-2. Entertainment.
Always.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
It's not. Sometimes it is how you win, Nige. And when we play the big teams, a shit ass result fills me with joy. You know, if we shit ass a result against Spurs, I love it because I fucking hate Spurs or Arsenal, right? Yeah. But in the main, it's about entertainment. And when I'm going to take him to see Brentford, West Ham, or West Ham Palace, you know, teams like that, and it's putrid, it's not going to fill me. I don't want to go over there, Nige. I do. So it's entertainment. I know what you're saying about goals. Goals are part of the entertainment value, right? But not if they're, you know.
So it ain't the goals itself. Then it's how we score the goals now.
It's style overall, Nigel. We can lose. Listen,
what is the point of football to score goals?
You're giving Moyes credit for those 50 odd goals, right?
Nigel, can I
and then you won't answer the question about how many he's responsible for.
Why did you ever have a problem with Sam Allardyce when he scraped to 1-0 or something like that?
You're ready now. Here we go.
No, I'm asking you. But you did. You hated his football.
Are you ready now, Nick?
Long ball shit. You used to say long ball, donkey ball, long ball shit.
Moyes don't play long ball. But anyway, Moyes don't play. You ready for the Allardyce years? This is brilliant, yeah? Allardyce years that everybody compares. People actually say Allardyce was better than Moyes.
None of us like Allardyce.
No, I'm not talking about the people in this room. Talking about others, yeah? Let's not know because
comparing age to
Ebola. He's slightly smelly as shit.
But people throw this at Moyes, yeah? People, I'm not saying here, when you read the chats, when you read social media, Twitter, everything, some people actually are back to the Allardyce days and like everything comparing Moyes. You ready? After 35 games, the 3 seasons in the Premier League, 2012, 2013, we scored 40 goals. 13-14, we scored 37 goals, and 14-15, we scored 43 goals. That's Allardyce football for you.
He brought us up the first time of asking and stabilised us.
It was grim. It was grim. We didn't like Allardyce. I'll tell you what. There's one thing.
It was one thing
you can say that's good.
Like Allardyce.
One thing you can say Allardyce was superior with right? Because he had a lot of traits similar to Moyes. He hated youth, right? And we saw what he'd done at Nottingham Forest, Allardyce, right? But there's one area where Allardyce is superior to Moyes, and that is man management and squad management. They liked playing for him for some reason. I don't know why. but I hated Allardyce. I hated Allardyce ball. I couldn't wait for him to go. Same as him. Same as Moyes.
Now. So that's the goals bit. Yeah? That's the goals bit.
You can get entertaining 0-0s.
Not many.
You can have a good
Not many.
You can have a good
you struggle, to be fair. But,
what are you going to say?
So that's the goals bit, yeah? So actually, for goals, yeah, Moyes is up there. The Moyes era in the Premier League, yeah, is up there as the best.
So you are giving
in the Premier League
for those 56
for the goals,
Nigel,
for scoring goals.
Yeah, so his tactics, his strategy calls those goals.
Nigel,
if you say his strategy and his tactics is to blame for conceding the goals, then surely you go his strategy and his tactics.
It kind of is because he can't
have it both ways.
Nigel, you know very well his training methods is rigid zones, draw lines across the pitch, get people to stay in their zones when defending, pull back, defend, give the opposition the ball, and wait, see what happens.
I will say, Nigel, this is the most dumbed down. I'm not being rude. It's the most dumbed down view on football that I can think of.
But that's how you dumb down. You dumb down football. When you break down to football, to what is the point of football? Is to score goals. That is the point of football.
All right.
And I would say the ultimate point is to score more goals than the opposition. Now, granted, Moyes don't do that, or he hasn't done that this season.
Take Wolves at home, Nigel. You remember
a lot of West Ham managers don't.
You remember
do
that Paqueta masterclass and Bowen and Kudus against Wolves. Where we were sitting back and Paqueta played the most beautiful balls up to Kudus and Bowen, and then they had the most amazing finishes. You think that was planned by Moyes?
No.
Or was that individual brilliance?
See, this is the thing. So what we're saying is that when I point fingers at the players, like the Crystal Palace game, that's because the way Moyes sets them up. But now, when they do something the
players were shit against Palace.
Right?
There's no getting
away
when
they
from
do
it.
Something off the cuff and brilliant, that's because of the players. Nothing.
No. Nigel, here's a question for you. Nigel, here's a question for you from Daniel Da Costa. What is the point of life?
Oh, I don't know. The meaning of life is 42, isn't it? I think.
No, that's the answer to life, the universe.
Oh, that's the answer to life, the universe. Sorry, yeah.
But what I'm saying is, Nigel, you can't strip out the emotion of football. Now, look, I'm going to let you finish your point.
I'm not stripped out.
No. But what I mean is
the emotion of football. What I'm trying to give you, and this is the thing. But so many people confuse what I say. Yeah, as me defending, but what you got to do is put yourself in the eyes of the club.
Let me ask you a question.
Why this?
No, I'm not, because I don't give a fuck about the club. Let me ask you a question now. What do you want? Do you believe what you're saying? Would you be happy if David Moyes got a new contract? I'm going to ask you.
But Nick, you know I don't care if he gets a new contract or not.
You must have a feeling on it.
Yeah, you must have an opinion on it, though, right?
That is my opinion. Will I still go there next season?
No, I'm not saying that. But would you not
still go there if he ain't there?
Would you not be more excited if we went and got out a manager with a reputation of attacking football? Would you not look forward to football more?
Possibly. I don't know. Let's see that. I looked forward to seeing Pellegrini. Didn't work out. I loved Bilic. Wish we'd never sacked him. Yeah, let's put it
By the way, I recall. I remember you saying that, and in my show the other day, I quoted you as that because he was sacked too early.
Yeah,
without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah,
too early.
11 games.
Please don't go too strong. Keep it civil, please. Come on.
Yeah, we are.
Come on.
I got the
chat. Don't go overboard. This is Nigel. Is our mate? Don't be horrible.
The chat's going crazy, and I'm trying to sort of filter, not putting bad comments up, but it's a passionate thing. You know, this is
a passionate thing, and Nigel, this is the other thing, right? Even if it's not you and you don't care, right? Whether it's Moyes or anything else, surely even you can't deny that for whatever reason, whether you think it's down to certain individuals or it ain't nothing to do with Moyes, you can't deny that David Moyes is a toxic influence currently on West Ham in the fan base. The David Moyes influence, you can't deny it.
Yeah,
you can't deny
it.
He's a toxic influence.
No, what I'm saying is, Nigel, if you removed David Moyes at the moment and brought a new manager in, the fan base in itself, in its entirety, would be far happier, and you know it would. You know it would.
What you'd quite quickly get with a new manager, Nick, would be if he had a bit of a poor start, people would be going, "See, you shouldn't have got rid of Moyes."
You know the result. What's going to happen? Yeah, you know you have your battles with the people. There's the Moyes-in idiots. Yeah. You know that what I think of them. There's fucking Moyes-in idiots.
Idiots
whatever, and the people that come after you too fucking hard. You've seen I've defended you at times to people.
You have.
You know, I play what you say, not the person.
Yeah.
And if difference of opinion meant I wouldn't be friends, fuck me, Sean would be fucking sitting in a room on his own, wouldn't he? At the end of the day.
He is most days, isn't he? He is most days, isn't he?
So, I don't have a difference of opinion.
But this is the other thing, right? But this is the other thing, Nigel. If you don't care about whether, then why do you care?
I'll tell you why. Because sometimes you have to bring a bit of balance. Now, I know I've come into the Lions Den, to coin a phrase here.
Yes.
But I'm trying to bring a bit of balance to the argument. Yeah. People were missing the point. And also to prepare them. Yeah. There is a possibility, a big possibility, David Moyes will be managing West Ham
not, Nigel.
next season.
No, there ain't.
There's not.
So you can sit here and go,
Nigel, there's
whatever.
Not.
3 games ago, Nigel. 3 games to go. Adios.
Nigel, there
Adios,
honestly isn't. Honestly, I'll have another £100 bet with you now.
I don't do bets still, so I'll leave that
honestly, I'm that certain he's fucking gone. I don't know who's coming in next. I've got no clue.
Nigel,
I mean this. I'll say this with love. I mean this in the nicest
possible
way.
I tell you, I remember back in 2015, people saying Allardyce is sacked. Yeah. They gave him the last year.
Nigel, I've got one question.
They didn't sack him.
One little question, Nigel. One little question. Easy one.
Though.
Easy question for you, Nigel.
Yeah.
Have you been moist?
Have I been moist? What do you mean?
Well, you don't seem like you really care anymore.
Yeah.
You just
exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what the players seem like, right?
I don't.
You get to a point where you think, who gives a fuck, right?
I go
to football a little bit like that.
So you go to football to watch a game. I want to see goals. Goals are fun.
Do you enjoy going over there and watching Moyes Ball, if you like, what everyone's calling it, Moyes Ball? Do you enjoy it? Have you enjoyed it this season, watching the games?
I've enjoyed games, yeah.
What was the best game that you've watched this year? Was it Leverkusen in the first half? Was that the best game you've watched this year?
Yeah, for me it was.
Because that was anti-fucking Moyes Ball. That was everything against what David Moyes
does
and he's about.
That was everything we wanted.
Yeah, I think that possibly. Do you know what? Funny enough, for 75 minutes against Newcastle, I thought we were excellent. I mean,
not as good as Leverkusen, though. But
no, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it was. Yeah, because we were sitting 3-1 up before we sort of capitulated for whatever decisions and everything that went about us. But there's far more points I got than just goals scored.
Go on then.
As I said, at the end of the day,
we've covered goals scored. Let's do next one.
Look back at Sullivan and the way he's run the club and West Ham United. Do you know, if you look at every West Ham United that's ever been dismissed or contract not renewed or left the club, it's never because we finished in the top 10.
But he wouldn't. It's not about that, Nigel. No one's saying get rid of him because we're finishing the top 10.
No, but hold up. But here's the thing, because now it boils down to money and the risk. And under this ownership,
what's the risk?
Well, the risk is that they've had their fingers burnt before.
Well, they have. That's Sullivan.
What happens if Pellegrini? Right? It goes again in Pellegrini. What happens?
This ain't Sullivan. Shouldn't be Sullivan choosing the manager. It should be somebody that Tim can work with.
Come
and
on,
Tim will be by.
We know.
I know Sullivan will ultimately draw up the contract. But if Tim is to stay there, then Tim's got to agree to it. Hence, we've been talking about Fonseca.
But it's been said that Sullivan's got a veto. Sullivan's
of course he's got a veto. He's got a majority shareholder, right? Yeah.
So if Steiden comes up and says, I want this manager, and Sullivan thinks, no, I'm not sure about him. If he wants this Eusebio, or whoever he is, from
Frosinone
to be the manager, what's Sullivan going to say? Realistically, Sullivan's going to go, nah.
Let's say they both agree on Fonseca, because that's the rumor at the moment. Is they're both kind of agreed on that one, right? We'll see. Now, if
what
that
happens,
do you honestly believe that with the kind of signings that Steiten has made possible, because Kudus, Alvarez, and Dinos would have been possible. Those two wouldn't have been possible before Steinen arrived. We know his history of success, huge history of success across two clubs over a long period. So Fonseca has never failed, and he was going to be joining Spurs until in 2021, until their new director of football came in and decided he wanted that Wolves bloke who failed, right? So all the signals for that combination of director of football and manager, it's unlikely that's going to fail. It might not do as well because there's a massive rebuilding job.
One second, Gary. Right, listen, please, in the chat, please don't sabotage it. I'll put it out there. Only season ticket holders. No one else. Please don't fuck the poll up. If you were to learn that David Moyes, if you haven't renewed yet, and you were to learn that David Moyes is getting a 2-year or 3-year contract, would you renew? Honestly. Let's see how that runs. And please don't
I'll
sabotage
tell you what, Nick, when push comes to shove, they'll cough up. Yeah? Like I did under Allardyce. People will cough up the money. When push comes to shove,
but it ain't supporting the manager.
Holders, they will cough up the money.
No, do you know that ain't supporting the manager, right?
I'm telling you. Season ticket renewals will be... If people didn't pay, I still maintain season ticket renewals will run between 94 and 97%.
That's not supporting the manager, Nigel. That's not supporting the manager, Nigel. That is, they don't want to lose their seat, like me.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So people can go.
I do agree with Nigel. I think most people, they say they won't renew, but they will renew.
They'll do it.
I genuinely believe
that. Honestly, don't know why. I mean,
it's the fact that the board and the owners know that. They absolutely know that. So
of course they know it.
I mean, do you know how strongly I feel about it, right? And I'm not even. This is the least amount of times I've been over there this year. So I let my season ticket go in lockdown. In the year after, I went to about 20 games home and away. The year after that, it was close to the same as well. This year, I've been to about 10 to 12 combined, probably more away than I've been to at home. And do you know what? I don't miss it. I don't miss it at all. And I would like to want to go back over there again. I would. If Moyes went, I would do my damnedest to get a season ticket for me and my boy again. I would. But you know something? I can't. Even watching it at home, I'm telling you now, I don't think I'm going to struggle to even want to follow it, even at home, Nigel. I've lost that much interest in watching West Ham. I watch it, it's shit. I love West Ham. I also love football. That's part and parcel of being a West Ham fan, I think, because
Nick, I think you set the bar too high, mate. Honestly, because this is the. Honestly, I
haven't got a high bar. We've never won nothing in my lifetime. I was born in 1980. I don't remember the FA Cup final. We won nothing between then and that Conference Cup. So my experience isn't West Ham winning. It's enjoying football. It's the chaos of football. It's the nuts element and stuff like that. I love that. There's none of that. It's bland. It's vanilla. It's boring. I fucking hate it, Nigel.
And Sean Whetstone's having a fucking lovely time in the chat.
Winding that passion and the people getting angry and having rows on the pitch and that. I love seeing all that. That's
honestly,
what entertains me and everything.
Yeah. Honestly, and do you know something? Do you know that Leverkusen game where I said I made a show before the Leverkusen game, and I said on that show, I said there's been so many games. I can't think of a single game that I've watched on telly this year and think I wish I was at that game. The Leverkusen one was the first one I would have loved to have been there. I would have. And that's the first time this season, Nigel. My boy's been going over there since he was little. He had years and years over Upton Park, right? But that's the first time this season that me and Ben, I haven't lost Ben watching a game of football. He's jumping around the front room. He got sent to bed because he smashed the fucking gate against the door. He was all the passion was back. I want that. The passion's gone for me watching this. and it doesn't need to be gone.
What I would say, then, Nick, is that at the moment, the reason for that is the results have been bad.
Oh, it ain't that, mate. Honestly, I started selling Moyes out mugs when we was in the top 3. When we was beating Brighton
it's been
and
such
everything
a
else.
shit season. And
It's been
Arsenal.
shit
No,
nice.
the first one to buy one.
I love football. I love football.
He sold loads of mugs, but didn't send them out.
Yeah.
It's been such
I'm not
a
doing them
poor
now, thank God.
season and a half since that. Well, no, 2 seasons. We nearly got relegated last year. If it wasn't for the last.
So
6
did
games,
9 other teams,
right?
then, Gal. If you want to go by that.
But is that good?
Nigel, we could have gone last year when we got battered by Newcastle. I think most fans thought we was going last season.
He deserved to get fired at the World Cup.
Yeah,
He
but
absolutely deserved it.
Yeah, but for me, lads, last season I don't care about the fucking league last season because we won the cup. And
but
that might be short-sighted. But
And the amount of fans that would have gone, mate, I'd take. I said I'd happily go down if we win the trophy. Yeah, and a lot of fans said
Nigel,
there'll be more than that to do that.
Nigel, I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this to be fucking pedantic. You could have got West Ham to that cup final.
Fucking hell, I don't think so.
If
you remember last year, Nick, I turned around and said, all these people making these comments, who's got the bollocks to see it through? Do you remember when I said that? I've got the bollocks to see us go through a relegation battle to win that trophy.
Sean, you know it.
Yeah, but we've all been there. That's Sean. I know that's bullshit, by the way.
No. What are you going to remember? Let's
Sean's just trolling the fucking chat.
I know that's bullshit. 100%. He's talking bollocks.
What he's saying it. Hold up. I will explain to you what that figure is.
Honestly, he's fucking peddling. When he does stuff like that, it pisses me off because I know for a fact that is incorrect.
You missed the other one.
No, because you're missing
it. A 24-month contract extension. You missed that one, didn't you?
What they're saying is, when they say record numbers renewed, what they're saying is for the early, like this early. So basically, they could put it on sale. Yeah, 1,000 people may renew their season ticket, but the first week of season ticket renewals, never before had 1,000 people renewed. So they'll go, that's a record, because we've never had 1,000 people renew in the first week before. But only 1,000 are renewed.
Do you know what they're doing there? They're blinding you with stats, mate.
Do you know
60,000.
Do you know something? No, do you know something? Honestly, and I mean this now. I mean it. Just like every, but what I mean is, just like every other fucker that comes out there, if we go and get a new manager and he don't do well, they'll be on me. I tell you what, if we do, there's part of me now. There's part of me with all of this shit that's going on with some of these people. There's part of me that's bloody minded and thinks, you know what? Give him a fucking 2-year contract. If that's what you want, go and pat yourselves on the back when everyone's pissed off, when it's going to shit. Because I'm not being funny. It's miserable. The football is miserable. Be careful what you fucking wish for. Yeah. So if this is what you want to do and you want this guy and you really want him, then do you know what? That's fine. I'll get it. But to me, what I don't get, Nigel, is you say you don't care. Yeah. But you're arguing with people that do care. I do care.
You know what we had at Upton Park with Allardyce? Upton Park with Allardyce. We had Upton Park. It was our own. It was tedious and boring, but we had that experience of going to Upton Park with our mates, our family, and everything else. And the going to football experience was brilliant. The going to football experience now requires something to happen on the pitch, Nigel, in that stadium. It was like a mould yesterday.
It's maybe a bit thing, but no Moyes team has ever been booed off for winning.
Been booed off plenty of times this season, Nigel. Last season.
No.
Honestly, I don't know about everybody else. I don't know about everybody else, but these Sunday night shows, I usually find them uplifting. I'm finding this fucking depressing.
It's draining.
I really am.
It's draining.
I'm finding it fucking depressing. Having to justify why this geezer's a useless cunt over and over again.
Honestly, Nigel, this bloke. He's fucking useless. I'm telling you now, you put Emery in that dugout for us this season, we're Aston Villa.
Hold up. Nick, do you know what? Last year, you was put Deserby in the fucking thing and we'll be...
They've had loads of injuries this year. Moyes ain't had none.
He ain't had none.
Mate, not really. We're at the top of the fucking injury list, Nigel. Look at that stat.
Brighton
top
have,
of the Premier
Brighton have
League.
had a lot of injuries, Nigel.
They've had a lot of injuries, Nigel.
a lot of injuries,
Look at
but we've had injuries.
Nigel,
Massive
okay,
amount.
John, when we played Wolves, tell me how many of their forward players they had when we played Wolves.
All of them, I think.
They had
none.
No. When we played Wolves, they had a number 3 left back playing up front.
Exactly, they had
No,
none.
they had
no forwards.
I said all their players were injured.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Fucking. Honestly, it's stressing
But we've
me
had
out
that
because
at times.
No, honestly, my mood has
It
gone from
fucking is.
happy to fucking miserable. I need
this
to lighten
but
myself
I don't
up.
what I don't understand,
Nigel,
Nigel, what I don't understand is what the point of this all is, because you say it's about giving balance. It ain't about giving balance, because we really on this channel, we're really the only proper Moyes out channel. So if you want balance, you've got balance on the Hammers chat. you've got balance on West Ham Fan TV. You've got balance on all the others. Where you ain't got balance is mainstream media. But this is the one channel where we do stick to our guns, where we want that cunt out, and this is the one where you've chosen to come and make your case for fucking David Moyes to stay. I'm fuming.
It's funny, look. Honestly, it's funny in one way. Nigel, you break, but this is you. This is what you do, right? You are a contrarian. Sometimes you swim against the tide. You like to represent the unrepresented and all that sort of stuff. I'm not going to sleep tonight. At the same time, we have spent the last fucking year debunking everything apparently positive about this tit. Moyes is not Moyes is not West Ham. He's the antithesis of West Ham. And when I look at all of these different reasons, I ain't gonna fucking read them out again. You know what they are. But even down to the treatment of players, the treatment of youth, the way he gets the likes of Kudos, who is borderline world class and will be world class one day, I'm sure of it. Him and Paqueta playing as supplementary defenders in a fucking Moyes system. It's heartbreaking. That is such a waste of good attacking talent. Why do you buy fucking Kudos if you're going to use him as a defender? It's insulting, Nigel. It's insulting.
When you say he's using Moyes' of football is all about breaking. The problem we got at the moment is counter-attacking wise, actually. When you look at, if you look at the front three of Bowen, Kudus, and Antonio,
I'm as entertained as you.
I think I think you'll find that they're not as fast as perhaps we think they are, and that's been the problem.
Well, I think that
the problem actually with West Ham this season ain't been scoring.
No, but this is another thing, Nigel. We play counter-attacking football, and we've got a slow-ass fucking team. Who built the team?
Yeah,
when the counter-attack was successful with Paqueta, Bowen and Kudus, they were playing on the shoulder of defender. At least one of them was breaking away, right? Yeah. Now we're aiming the ball for Antonio. We've gone back to strategy 1, which is find Antonio, let him hold the ball up. These two out here just fucking defend and cover fullbacks, especially on that side with Soufal. Kudus has spent half his season, plugging the gaps in ability with Soufal. Soufal can be all right. He can get forward and put in a decent cross. But why have you not got Kudus going down the right and putting in a decent cross, running at players? Why is Soufal fucking doing it?
Hold up a minute. Kudus runs at players all the time. Sometimes, 50% of the times, he runs down to a blind alleyway. Yeah?
Well, because there's no one up there with him, Nigel.
Well,
you saw it yesterday. There's no one to pass to.
Right.
No one to pass to.
Where's Antonio then?
Well, he's usually behind him when he gets forward.
Well,
no one goes with him. We see that in a few games where
it was yesterday.
Even Kudus will take on 2-3 players, gets past him, does all that, and there's no one in front of him.
No one is going to be in front of Kudus because he's a forward player.
Yeah, but the thing is, Nigel.
Antonio and Bowen, why aren't they forward him?
Why? They're level with him.
But Nigel, if you go back to the Leverkusen game, right, we talk about poor Moyes, maybe the players ain't quick enough that the dopey cunts bought to play his system. They are quick enough. Look how we played against Leverkusen. They are quick enough. They can press. Look how good James Ward-Prowse, who I've been smashing to pieces all season. Looks good against him. No, but he looks good against Leverkusen, playing in a system and a way that suits the players. He doesn't play in a way that suits the players.
So Leverkusen weren't Moyes then. Second game.
No,
first game.
I'll tell you. What do you mean?
Second game weren't
he knows what he has to do when he has to do it. Nigel,
the point is, mate, if that was Moyes' decision, the second leg, to go at them. Agreed, right? Yeah. Credit to Moyes there. So why does he not play that way when it suits us?
You
more than
asked that,
fucking both?
Nigel. You asked the same question on the podcast. You said
Come
the
on,
same
mate.
thing.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is again, what it's come down to on here is that when I turn around and say the reason I'm giving the case is because there is no one. Yeah. So I'll give you the reasons why I believe the ownership of this club could appoint Moyes next season as manager.
And do you agree? Well, would you agree with it, Nigel? If they did,
monkeys, because
you're explaining the mindset. You're explaining the mindset of David Sullivan, and somehow explaining why that is potentially right.
Yeah. Why
Really?
there is a bit strong possibility.
You're saying Sullivan would be right in doing that, Nigel?
Well, the problem you got there is...
Well, that's what you just said. You just said...
The problem we got is that nobody knows... Pellegrini is a far superior manager than David Moyes.
Yeah.
Yes,
far
I agree.
superior.
I agree.
Yeah.
But, and there is a funny thing. I actually think that if Pellegrini hadn't been sacked, he'd have kept us up.
Of course he would.
He would have.
Because Moyes achieved the same amount of points with the same players.
With Bowen and Souček. No, plus Bowen and Souček.
Nigel, maybe with Pellegrini, if they'd have given him Mendy, but if they'd have given him Mendy like he wanted, rather than giving him fucking Roberto.
No, but I'm saying Pellegrini. But you can't argue the fact it didn't work.
No,
you can't argue the fact that when they sacked Pellegrini,
like we won the cup last year. Any decent manager with us as favourites with that squad would have won that cup.
I don't disagree. I don't think that. But at the end of the day, it was under David Moyes. It's like when I turn around and say to people, winning that cup ain't next level. It's history making, but it ain't next level.
Correct.
Because it's a cup that we had. So this is the thing.
Yeah, but
people here think I come on here to defend fucking David Moyes because I'm a Moyes lover, and I ain't. But you can't argue.
But you don't like the argument against Moyes.
No, I listen to it.
You can't argue he won a cup, but you want to sell your soul for it, right?
I can agree with some of it. Yeah, I want people to listen to the podcast will know. Say I've been bored to fucking tits this season. Watching some of that football.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible.
But look at the players that we've got.
One fucking shot in the whole game. Yeah, terrible. But this is the thing. You're confusing what I am personally to what I'm telling people. The message I'm saying, it's not my message. I'm giving reasons why it could happen.
I just don't think anybody knows.
That's up to you.
No. I agree. Sullivan might be thinking it. But I don't think we should be representing Sullivan and giving him credit for his thoughts in any way, shape, or form.
He's a little cunt.
If he'd done that, he would be fucking wrong.
He is. No,
his mind might be working like that, but he would be fucking wrong. And ignoring the fan base, who Sean has already said, nothing to do with you fans. It's his club. He can do what he wants because that's what he thinks, right? And he knows. So there's no way I can make that little prick right.
Well,
which one? Sean or
David? I mean, look. If basically what you're saying is, and this is the long and short of it. And to be fair, we know that to a degree. Sullivan gives not two fucks about entertainment or about anything about football, providing the numbers are right. Providing the numbers are right and staying up. I get that. But that doesn't mean that we should argue and justify it for him.
But Nick, most football clubs, will work to the same mantra that actually
Spurs didn't. They had Conte. They had Conte and Mourinho that were doing all right in the league. They got rid of them. They got rid of Mourinho. They got rid of Mourinho before a cup final. They've gone and got out and they've done the right thing for their fans. And eventually,
did they win that cup final?
No, they didn't because they got rid of Mourinho before the cup. Who does that? No, but what I'm saying is they didn't. They have tried. I think they're trying now to go back to give the football back to the fans because they've realised how dead and desolate that new stadium was becoming.
I don't know. You live in Tottenham land, so you probably bloody know lots of stuff. I mean, one of my best mates lives across the road to me. Tottenham season ticket holder. I've not took the piss out of him yet today. I'll save it till tomorrow. Yeah. But he's not a big fan of Ange Ball.
I know. Well, a lot of them are, mate.
A lot of them, mate. So all this about, Postecoglou plays a fantastic brand of football and everything.
No,
they're not over enamoured about it.
Yeah, but let's see the fans.
It's not my style.
Do you know what? He would love Unai Emery. Who wouldn't love the Unai Emery that's at Aston Villa?
Yeah. But we could have had him. And Sullivan didn't think he spoke good English.
No, I know. But the thing is, right, with Emery, everyone. I know you're not doing that. But a lot of people, and this is where it gets fucking ugly, because it almost, when people use that Conference League and they discard the shambles that we've had in the Premier League in the last 2 years, and they use that as a reason to give him a new contract, it does kind of force you to dismantle that trophy, because you don't want to, but you're like, fuck me, we played no one on the way to that final. You don't want to. We should just be able to enjoy it. But it was never a good enough reason to keep him, Nige. He should have gone after that final and bowed out at the top. He should have. He should have.
He should have realised himself it wasn't going to get any better.
Yeah, he should have.
In my opinion.
Well, he was never going to. Nigel, was it ever going to get better for Moyes than that at
We
West
would have
Ham?
patted him on the back, and we would have probably had good memories of him forever. Instead, we've got this.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, yeah. Fonseca, say we appoint Fonseca.
I don't want Fonseca.
Well, look, beggars can't be choosers,
Well,
Nick.
I'll take him. I'll take him.
Why are we beggars, though, Nige? Why are we beggars?
What do you mean beggars? I'll tell you why you're beggars, yeah? Because when you sit there and scream Moyes out, 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 Moyes out,
yeah.
and then they go, right, Moyes out, we're going to put Fonseca in. Ooh, I don't like him.
No.
Shit,
Honestly,
you got
honestly,
what you
Nigel,
wanted.
Nigel,
And that is how it is, because we don't own the football club.
Yeah, but
It is tough
but
shit.
listen.
Nigel, you're sounding like Sean. You sounded like Sean when you say that. We do have a say.
Yeah, but Nigel,
Nige.
We don't have a say.
No, we don't. But
do
you're
not.
sounding like Sean by saying that. You're representing what the board say. That is the board's out. That's the words out of Sullivan's mouth that he said on the fucking podcast. Like when he said, "If we don't renew, we get someone else sitting in your seat." I don't want to hear my football club saying that, Nige. I want to hear that we're treasured fans.
If you really think David Sullivan sits there and tells Sean things like that, mate, that is fucking shit. This is what Sean. This is his opinion or whatever. Sullivan don't sit there and go to Sean, "Oh fucking hell, Sean! If they don't like it, they can fuck off and go somewhere else." He never says that. He's never said that. He's never intimated that. If Sean comes out with that, that's his opinion.
But in that case,
of the way the club is thinking.
But the other thing he said was what you just said. That's what Sean said. So you're just repeating what Sean said.
No, I'm not repeating what Sean said. That's how football clubs work. We can sit and shout at each other all we like. I don't like this manager. I wanted him sacked. But guess what? We cannot appoint the next one.
No, Nigel, honestly, I would take Fonseca 1,000,000 times over David Moyes.
Well, there you go.
If that's all we got, that would be fine.
I'm quite excited by Fonseca.
Even Lopetegui, who is one that I really don't want, even if he came in, I'd take him 1,000,000 times over
I
Moyes.
still think they're better than Moyes. I do think they're better than Moyes.
Fonseca ticks a lot of boxes, especially with the youth and his attacking style of football. I would take him tomorrow in a heartbeat.
But being a club that's in the heart of London,
we've got no choice.
In the heart of London, we've got 66,000. We should not be beggars. We shouldn't be beggars. So no way. We shouldn't.
Hold up.
Nigel, we shouldn't.
Micky, you're missing the point when I say beggars can't be choosers. Yeah, it's a phrase, isn't it? Yeah,
it is a phrase,
it's that if you turn around and want something to happen and it happens. You can't control.
Nothing will make me. Nothing will make me regret David Moyes going. Nothing will make me regret him going.
So then, when you turn around, how can you turn around and say, "Oh, I don't want Fonseca"?
Well, because you can have an opinion on the next manager. Like you can have an opinion on the striker that you want coming in.
But when the next manager turns up, there's a good possibility, and some of this, though, I will point out, is because of what's happened in the past 2-3 seasons. Yeah, there's a good chance. Yeah. Next season, we're going to have even worse than what we got this season. And the reason for that is...
What do you define worse? Define worse.
I'll tell you how.
This is down or something.
Yeah, I'll tell you how this next season could be worse, no matter who the manager is. Because there's everything that's been highlighted as a criticism of Moyes in regards to playing staff, has still got to be dealt with by someone else. We've got too many players over the age of 30.
Yes.
Like me, we're still wheeling out Antonio.
And the thing is, this problem...
It ain't going to be fixed in one fucking season.
No, I know that. But the fact of the matter is this is the whole problem. Part of what you've just said, this massive job that somebody's got next season, this is the thing. This is the real David Moyes legacy. That squad that he's leaving behind, there's got to be rebuilt.
Possibly.
That's the real David Moyes legacy.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah,
we don't know. That's the thing.
I don't think because he's done this.
I'm not saying be careful what you wish for. All I'm saying is it could. I expect it to get worse before it gets better.
From a business perspective, why would you?
And how many fans? Come on,
Nigel, as a business owner,
I don't think it will get. It could get worse in terms of my enjoyment of football. In terms of my enjoyment of football, it can't get worse.
No, that's a different point of view, Nick. Look at it from the football club's point of view, not yours. Put yourself as the run.
But I don't care about the business side of it. I'm a fan.
Not do I. I don't think any football fan should care about the business side.
Unfortunately, both go hand in hand, Nick. I've been educated on that.
Even as
any football fan shouldn't care about the business side of things. You should just be a football fan and enjoy the football that's on offer. That's what a supporter
is. It's
the product.
How do you pay for the players then?
Well, look, I think that is.
How do you attract the players?
In reality, all that stuff is part of the business, but as part of the director of football, how attractive he makes it, part of the manager, how attractive he makes it as a place to come, and the style of football, all that stuff, all those things get added together, and you can get the right type of player. But really, in reality, if they were looking at the business side and not just staying up in the Premier League, they'd look at his player transactions since he's been here, and on that alone, he would have been booted out a long time ago. And to think that they're considering even giving him the chance to rebuild again after he's decimated this squad, that they should be fucking ashamed.
Because that is a good point, right? If you're looking at it from a business perspective, I don't know what you think on this, John, right? But I said this on a show the other day. If you look at say, for instance, I know you mocked his body of work because it's in Portugal. But Ruben Amorim, when he came in, his body of work is identifying players, bringing players on bulk through the fucking youth academy, introducing them into the youth system. He creates players. If you look at what Leverkusen have done, Nigel, where in the last 10 years, they've spent no more than 10 million net per year over 5 years. That's how they've ended up with this squad, which is worth more than ours, younger, way younger, which is going to be good for the next 3-4 years. So when you look at that and you look at that body of work, you think, from a business perspective, how fucking stupid is it to keep David Moyes? Because he hemorrhages money on players for fun. He does. Look at the players that have gone before him. Yeah. Even the likes of fucking Haller. You know, it's no coincidence that these players that are shit for us, they go out, they're gone. We lost money on Haller. He's gone. He's scoring loads of goals in the Champions League, setting records. We lost half the money on him in 18 months. No, but it doesn't matter. When you take over a club, Nigel, part of a management process is you adopt those assets. So Haller and Anderson he let go for 3 million. Our once record transfer.
Well, hold on,
Nick.
Next. Now, Nick, do you think David Moyes sits there and goes 3 million? Or do you think what he does is actually David Sullivan,
what he does is, Nigel, he doesn't get anything out of that player. He doesn't use them. They turn to shit to the point where the club go, I can't pay him that much money if you ain't going to use him. We'll have to sell him for what we can get for him. That's what happens.
Yeah, but Nick, we always used to have the argument. You used to say that if we put enough pressure on Sullivan will listen to the fans. Sullivan cares what the fans think. I don't actually think he gives a monkey's, mate, at the end of the day. And he doesn't. Nigel's right to some extent where I don't think he does, Nigel. It's a business. He probably would want mid-table.
Well, if he cared what the fans thought, then this wouldn't be an argument, would it?
Sullivan.
I'll tell you what, Nick. Right, the one thing you should never do is run the club for what the fans want.
No one's suggesting that.
Surely you should also not run it for against the fucking wishes of the club and not take anything into consideration.
No. You should take into consideration the fan base. But the thing is look, listen, as I said, as well we know that the fan base, this is like Brexit. And the funny thing about David Moyes, Mexit, we should call it now, is the funny thing about it is, this is going to hang over. You know that when he's gone,
If he stays, I'm fucking gone. I can't do this
when
for
he's
another
gone,
season.
because he will go like this season or next season. He's got a lifespan of 2 years max. His lifespan, but to be fair, I do fully expect him to go. Yeah, but there's a nagging doubt in the back of my mind that actually, if they can't agree and if they can't tie down, and who's to say Fonseca wants to come and manage West Ham? Because when you look at
they're in the Champions League now.
That's what I'm saying. When you look at what he's leaving, what he's come to, so he's going to come and join the club.
Lille are fourth at the moment.
Yeah, he's going to come to a football club that is not in European football whatsoever. that's going to need such a rebuild that the chances are that
So
there
there's
may
no-
be no
but-
European football for a
But
couple of
Nige,
seasons and whatever.
but
You're
look,
gonna let Moyes build another Moyes
No,
squad.
I'm not
for
saying
Moyes.
that.
This
Hold
is
up.
what I mean. But based on where we are,
see, you're confusing as well. Yeah, this ain't me
Yes,
saying
Robert.
that this is I want Moyes appointed. What I'm saying is the club may end up with Moyes because no other
What I don't
fucker wants to
understand-
No, you
own
don't.
him.
They don't end up
what
with
I
Moyes.
don't- what I don't understand,
They
though,
don't.
Nigel.
They choose
Why-
to end up with him, Nigel, because as
Well,
we've
all
said,
right,
we
they
had this,
choose to end up with
but
Moyes.
we had this conversation the other day, people, and basically what it is, if David Sullivan, when he says there ain't no one available, it means Silkman, Salthouse. About 3 fucking agents, it means that they haven't got their managers available because they're the only ones that they'll deal with. It ain't because there ain't no managers available in the rest of the world of football, but if fucking Barry Silkman ain't got a manager available, then there's no manager available.
Yeah, but don't forget, Sullivan don't take a salary. He don't make a penny out of this club.
Yeah, I know.
The trouble is though, the longer this season's gone on, the less appealing we become to better managers because we're falling down the league a little bit. Right?
They're allowing it to happen. They're allowing it to happen.
We're not going to qualify for Europe. We've got a massive rebuild.
Fucking
It's a
winding me up.
hard sell for Steiden to sell the club to an incoming manager. So Almiron, whatever his name is, he might have come over, had a look around, especially when he spoke to Sullivan and thought, this ain't for me. Because you've got to look at where they're coming from. Are they going to leave a team already in Europe to come to us? So you've got to be realistic with who you can get. That's not me saying stay with Moyes. Of course it isn't.
No,
But
not unless they've got a budget.
You're going to probably have to take a risk.
Not unless they've got a budget, because you're going to get better pay, much better pay, infinitely better pay in the Premier League, right? So but they've got to be able to take on a job that they think they can do and make themselves look better and increase their profile.
But whether you're a player or a manager, Gal,
Yeah.
going to a team in Europe is far more attractive, no?
Yeah, but it's for 1 year. If they believe in believe in their own hype, John, then a great manager can come in here, get the players they want, put the pieces in place, and get us back into.
You don't even need a great manager.
After all,
though.
we need to finish 7th.
You don't even need this. This is the thing. You don't even need a great manager. You need a fucking first team coach now. This was the whole idea of what we've done. Is to go out there and get somebody to basically coach the team, because what we had before was David Sullivan, David Moyes underneath him, who was running the full side of football operations. Basically a jack of all trades. We don't want a jack of all trades and a master of none. Now we've got all the pieces in place in a director of football system. Now we can go out and get a specialist fucking coach that can come in to coach those players and manage the fucking team. And then if he don't work, fuck him off. The back room is still there. That's the whole idea of putting this system in place. So I really don't understand. What do you mean the back room? You've got Tim Steiten, you've got the analysts that have come in. No.
What others?
You've got Maximilian Hahn. You've got the you've got his
brother.
brother who's come in now.
There's 3 of them.
There is a staff there now.
They're not going to coach the players. They're not.
Would you?
No,
would
but
you
it's part of
fancy-
the
part of
Yeah, but
the
when Moyes
mechanism.
goes,
Kevin Nolan goes.
Who do you think's more
Nolan
important,
goes,
Nige?
they
Nige,
all
who do you
go.
think's more important to keep, Moyes or Steiden?
Steiden.
Exactly.
Well, he ain't
And
going
if
to.
Moyes stays, Steiden ain't.
Well, one, we don't know that, to be fair.
Why
and
would
that's
he,
the
though?
thing.
Why
We're all
would he?
guessing there.
But why
We're all
would
guessing
he?
that
I'm going
the
on what he's. I'm going
relationship
on what he
whatever.
said, Nige, to the media the other week when he looked very happy. He was saying he came into, to take overall charge and found himself in a three-way relationship. But then he alluded to the fact that he's going to be taking charge next year. Now that won't be above Sullivan, but it'll be above the new coach.
As a director of football, Nigel, surely as a director of football, where you are charged with managing the club's finances, going out there, finding the right players, bringing them in at the right time. He's known as a pearl diver. But to realise that, you need to have a manager and a coach that can actually take the players to the next level, that will play them, that will use them. What's the point in going out? It's like we've heard West Ham were in for Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer wouldn't have played this year if we'd have signed him. He's about 19. He wouldn't have fucking played.
That was Karen Brady, though, wasn't it?
So you can go out and you can get these players in. You can do that, but you need to have a manager and a coach. If you're a director of football, that's going to make you look good. That's going to try and develop your assets and get the best out of them. Moyes ain't going to do that. He's a cunt. He's just going to want to fuck it. He's always going to push back against them all the time.
He's not developed a single player. I mean, you might be able to give him Bowen, but there's not a single player who's improved under his leadership.
Antonio.
No, is he?
I think he's been detrimental to
Has he
Antonio.
improved? Has he
Antonio would have been
improved?
better out wide.
He's always been a
He's
great
not a
player.
striker.
He's always been a great player. Well, so has he improved really? I mean, he's put a winger up front because that's what he does. Because he's a serial failure. With
funny enough, he improved on Arnautovic.
Because he was a winger.
I'll give him that.
He was a winger.
I'll give him that as well.
There is.
No. He didn't. He didn't improve on Arnautovic.
Arnautovic
played up front for Stoke and did bloody well. The same thing. He just put the right.
He was wide up front. He done the same thing.
He put the right Pete in the right. Billett should have done it. Billett should have done it.
He said, Moyes said to Arnautovic, you want to get the fans on side, you need to run around more, make more of an effort. And Arnautovic literally did that. So he did get
John,
out of him.
John, you know that quote that you're talking about there, right? I've watched a podcast on that. You know that was Noble that delivered that speech. That wasn't Moyes. That was Noble that took Arnautovic to one side.
Noble improved Arnautovic.
Noble basically said to Arnautovic, if you want the fans to love you, that you've got to basically just go and run your bollocks off and be a nasty bastard. They'll love you forever. Yeah. That is what Noble said to Arnautovic.
So
according to Noble,
look at the amount of talent and the amount of players. Look at the squad he inherited under Pellegrini and compare it to what he's leaving. I mean, it was actually a good squad he inherited, a very good squad. Missing a couple of pieces, but he added those couple of pieces in Bowen and Souček, right? It was needed, but when you look at that squad, it was a big squad, it was a quality squad, and now we're left with 10 players 4 years later.
Yeah.
450 million.
I just don't. This is the thing, and if you're going to go, but this is the thing. If we're going to take the Ian Dow, Sean Whetstone business cap, it's all about football is a business. Yeah. There are so many arguments against why David Moyes is not good for business.
Mickey's right. We shouldn't be caring about the business, but unfortunately, we get sucked into thinking about the fucking business, and we shouldn't. The football club should be running itself to deliver a good product that's attractive, that we enjoy watching, then we won't give a fuck about the business.
I mean, John, what's your thoughts on that term, results-based business?
You know what I think about that. I don't care about the business. I don't. Nigel,
I don't believe Nigel does. In fact, I know you don't care about the business side of it.
Yeah, but I don't care who the manager is, and the reason I don't care about the result is because I know I'm going back. So I'm not going to get, I'm not going to get irate. I'll never be irate about a defeat. Yeah. I never will be irate about a defeat because I know it's a waste of my time getting irate. People can say, he's not passionate or whatever. I'll leave that to other people to judge me. I don't fucking care.
Well, you said to me before, you've been there before where you did let football affect you.
He's mellowed.
Yeah, you mellowed. You mellowed, yeah.
I did, yeah. So, I'm mellowed. And what I realised is actually...
Sit back and chill.
They can lose every game and I still go back. There's nothing to stop me, because I have tried actually to stop, and I fucking sat home for one game and fucking went back.
What do you miss?
And that was nothing to do actually with the football side. That was.
Do you miss your mates? Do you miss your mates, or do you miss the football?
No, I miss being at the game. The problem you got is the thing is,
part of your DNA going to
I've done this. I've done this constantly since I was 7 years old, and I think that's the problem. Yeah, if it was that's 50 years or 48 years. 48 years. I've done this constantly since 1977, and that is everything, every relationship, whatever they've dealt with. The fact that Nigel goes football. Rightly or wrongly, this ain't me or whatever.
There's one thing that I will agree with Nigel on what he said.
I don't care.
And that is the fact that when you said about the be careful what you wish for sort of thing, and they don't really care the board what the fans think. Now I said this, I think the board or any club owner are the only people who should be concerned about results-based business and a business plan. And if you look at it, Moyes has been Sullivan's most successful manager. So is he no quick rush to get rid of him? That I understand. I do understand that. But I'm not a results-based business fan. I've never have been and I never will be. I'm an entertainment
I don't think any fan should be.
Well, no, like I said to you, I don't think any fan should be. To me, that's not enjoyment.
Nick, no, the only thing is you say you shouldn't be. Hold on, what I'm saying is, there's lots of fans out there that they look at the result first and foremost.
They don't care. They don't care about the football.
Teletext fans,
They have
Nigel.
no care
They don't care.
about the football. That's all I can imagine, Nigel. They have no care or no concern about the 90 minutes of football they're
But
watching,
here's a
providing
funny
they get a
thing,
shit-house goal. It
Here's
gets
a funny
them the
thing,
win,
and
that's it, it's done.
this is true, yeah. When we used to lose far more than we win, yeah, because we used to lose lots.
I know.
Because we didn't used to invest. We didn't used to invest like
That
this,
used to
right?
go, I'd
Yeah.
give anything to
Get
fucking
on with
win,
it.
or we would get rid of him, get someone in. They would look at a manager, not care about how he played football, or just want to win games. Yeah. So
Well, then
there
what,
are.
can I ask you?
look
Can I
at
ask
the
you?
investment.
No, wait.
Look at the
No,
investment.
wait.
Look at the investment.
One second. That being the case, there are West Ham fans that care about nothing. I'm just saying, there's this group of West Ham fans that care about nothing other than results. Yeah. Okay. West Ham got relegated. Now let me just tell you this story. You know it very well. Sam Allardyce came in. He got us up by whatever means, whether you think he should have got us automatically promoted or not. He got us up. First time of asking. He kept us up. He stabilised us. In fact, when at the halfway point in the season where they was getting rid of him, he'd had a great transfer window. And then they came out. We was third in the league, and they came out and they announced at that point. And do you know what? People were happy. Why were people happy if results were all that mattered?
Hold
Nigel?
up. Say that again.
That we were third in the league when Sunderland announced that he was going to get replaced in the summer.
That is
but
not
what I'm
true.
saying is,
That
no,
is
we
not
were.
true.
It was third
That
or
is
fourth.
not true.
We were
Third
up.
or
We were up
fourth.
there. We
We
were
were
up
up
true.
there.
Not
Yeah,
true.
it is.
We were
It
up
They
is.
there,
never
Nige.
announced that he was leaving until
No,
half time at the last game.
No, they didn't announce it, but it was leaked to the
It was
media,
leaked to
right?
the
We know
media.
the usual
And we all knew.
sources.
Like
Like
we
we're
all knew.
leaking it now.
The
And this
usual
is the thing.
the
all
usual
knew.
sources
looking at
came
it,
out
yeah?
and said he was going.
Nigel, no, one second. But ignore that. It was leaked. Everyone knew that Sam was going. The wheels came off. But the fact of the matter is, everyone was over the moon that he was going. So if football doesn't matter and results are all that do, why were people over the moon that Sam was going?
Because the same reason that there are people now that get misty-eyed over Allardyce. And they are. And this is the thing.
I'm not misty-eyed over Allardyce. I don't like him.
You ain't
I just use it to wind you up because you use Moyes to wind me up.
But
Yeah, but how bad has Moyes got to be for people to get starry-eyed over Allardyce now?
I don't like him. He's a wanker. I hate him.
Bad, you wouldn't see that support for Allardyce.
Couldn't fucking stand Allardyce.
I don't like Allardyce.
Couldn't stand Allardyce. But
That's the funny thing is those people that get misty-eyed over Allardyce while slagging off Moyes.
But it's like people that get misty-eyed over Moyes that hated Allardyce.
Well, I'm not misty-eyed over Moyes.
No, but
If
I'm
he
saying
goes,
there
he
are
goes. I
people
don't
that, but there
fucking
are
care.
people that do.
Well, possibly, yeah.
You know. So this is the thing. This is what I don't get. So this is where the argument falls down on that front. Because that being the case, if Sam Allardyce was safe, super safe, you know, he got us promoted, he stabilised us. We were quite high up in the league when it was announced that he was going to go, whether it was by the club or not. It was leaked. He was going. Then the wheels came off. Everyone was over the moon. We were so excited that he was going. If football didn't matter, that wouldn't have been the case. Would have been, ooh, be careful what you wish for. Results-based business. Look what he's done.
People
Not many.
did.
no. The same media people came out with the same
There was
shit, right?
fucking loads of people. There was thousands of people.
And did you push back again? And did you push back against it?
Yeah, fucking did.
Yeah.
Pew, pew, pew.
That's what we're doing. We're sticking to our guns.
Of course I did.
Yeah.
But get this, yeah.
I did. I hated Sam. I was happy
just
he was
to show you, yeah.
I didn't hate Sam.
I didn't like him at all. I didn't like him.
Until that comment.
I'll tell you
what.
what.
Show you, the thing when it came to and why Moyes, because what you got to remember is they've been through this situation before. Bilic was their fourth choice manager.
Yeah. Can we? I'm not being funny, right? We're an hour and a half into this show. I think we've done this to death. We surely can't drag this on any longer, can we? I mean, can we change the subject? Talk about something.
Right, I'll tell you what we do, yeah, because look, there's some people
upbeat
who've done some super chats here.
Chip.
So Mark 72, pew 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 pew.
Bang, 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 bang.
This is going to go on. So Billy Bob, who done £2.
Fuck me.
I agree.
Billy Bob. Yeah.
Pew 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 pew.
Yeah.
Dog ass. Anyone else want to
Nigel,
do
you got big bubblegum balls, Nigel.
I've got big
bubblegum balls, whatever that is.
And
they'd be gobstoppers, they would.
Rather guide someone into my mum's than watch Moyes.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
But I mean, you know.
And Joe Woolley, sorry. Happy birthday,
Oh,
mate.
yeah, you can have it.
Happy birthday, Joe.
There you go.
I mean, look.
Fancy having a birthday and asking for pew-pews. Fuck me.
Yeah.
He loves it.
This is we can't do 2.5 hours of this. We're going to depress the fuck out of people.
I'm depressed.
honestly.
I'm depressed. We need to try and lift it up.
But it's also been entertaining. I've got to admit.
Yeah, let's
been entertaining.
Can we change the subject now and move forward and focus on the future and maybe focus on the next games, the end of the season, and let's forget about the Moyes argument about whether Sullivan might fucking keep him, because Sullivan's capable of anything.
I've got a question about the future.
Go on.
Yeah.
Do you think in 2 seasons' time we can win the championship?
Yeah.
The
championship.
The championship.
Oh, right.
I reckon so. I reckon so. Do you know what, Nigel? I've got to be honest. I'll tell you what. Give me.
I fancy the playoffs myself, but
give me fucking Leicester City's season this year compared to the one that I've just been watching. Honestly, I'd have enjoyed it more. No, I mean, do any of us really? Do you even really care if we get relegated?
Never have.
I don't think any of us do.
Occupational hazard. Someone did ask me.
I'm not infatuated with the Premier League. I'm not infatuated with it.
No, me neither.
Imagine no VAR. Fucking imagine scoring a goal and actually believing it was a goal.
Did you see Sweden have pushed back on it? They've refused to use it.
Yeah.
Big Sam. What
really bothers me
Big
is
Sam,
like,
definitely.
you know it's going to come around again, Nigel. You know, like this European Super League thing's going to come around.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on that gravy train. I want to see them all fuck off.
I did it at the time. Let them go.
Yeah.
Let them go. Let them go and do it. But the thing, and this is the thing. The only thing that annoyed me about the previous Super League was that they wanted to have their cake and eat it. So they wanted to play in the Premier League, and they wanted. Now you want to have a European Super League? Take your fucking toys and fuck off. Yeah. Because there are teams there are teams in the Championship, Leeds, Sunderland, with massive fan base that can replace those that piss off. Yeah, and we can have a more competitive league.
I agree. And do you know what? I've got a theory on this, Nigel. Right? I've got a theory on this because I do think that football is what it is because of the fans. That's why the fucking Saudi league ain't doing nothing, because no fucker watches it, right?
Yeah,
that's because it is all to
That'll
do with the
die
fans.
a death like the Chinese.
It will die a death. And do you know what? That is what will happen. You could have Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, all these teams, Man City, playing each other week in, week out in different countries. With it would end up exhibition, no promotion, no relegation, all for fuck all. And do you know what would happen? Like you just said, the Premier League or the First Division, whatever it would be called, it would end up becoming the most watched fucking league again, because it would happen. I think over here it's a bit different. And do you know what? I think there'd be something romantic in that. Let them take all this plastic, Americanized shit. Let them take it to the Super League. Yeah. And we'll just keep our football. We'll have football back. I don't care. But Nick,
you've seen who has real control. They've taken away FA Cup replays from round 1. When the Premier League teams ain't even in it. I mean, so that shows you the power of the Premier League, doesn't it?
That's the start, I think. I mean, that's disgusting.
I've got a great thing, because actually I did look at this. If you look at the FA Cup, so they've scrapped replays.
Fuck off, Potter.
Look, who thinks John looks like Sam Allardyce?
The replays must have been somewhere else. So I had it. So when I looked at it, so if you look at the Big Six in the past 10, 15 years, the Big Six, which is the reason why they're scrapping replays, because they're introducing more European. So because they're having more clubs in the Champions League, there's going to be more weeks of European football, and you can't have the FA Cup played when there's European football played that week.
The weekday,
So the replays have to go. So that only affects the Big Six, really, or the teams in Europe. They've only played, I think, 12 replays in 10 years.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
That's it. That's all they've appeared in. Liverpool, I think, have appeared in 4. Tottenham have appeared in about 4. City have had 1 replay, I think, in 10 years.
But Nigel, the Premier League clubs don't come until round 3.
No, I know.
Why they started it in round 1?
Absolute
You know, because
I think it's right. It is wrong. It don't matter what way you look at it. Why change the format? Why change it?
The thing is, they spent years looking at the FA Cup going, oh, it's ruined. How do we get it back? And you think, well, the easy way to get it back is one, play all the games on a Saturday and a Sunday. Two, play most of them at 3 o'clock, not Friday, Saturday, 12:30, not 3 o'clock, 5:30, 8 o'clock, Sunday, 12:30, 2 o'clock. You know, stop all that nonsense. Play them on across one weekend, a Saturday and a Sunday, so the fans can go to the games. You know, listen, I thought it was a bad thing when they brought in penalties. Blimey, I remember going to Ipswich on a Tuesday and then going back on a Thursday. Yeah, because we drew 1-1 and they spun a coin and Ipswich won, and we had to go back to Ipswich on the Thursday for a second replay. So it's, you know, at some point I think there will be a tipping point with the whole fan base where certain things will happen. It's getting close. I think a lot of fans. It
was fans of the want away breakaways that also got involved and stopped.
They stopped
it. So
hopefully
they see the importance of the FA Cup. You know, and financially how it helps further.
I don't think they care. Honestly, I think the thing is,
I think the fans do, mate. I think the fans
League. It's all about Premier League and Champions League with them. I think some of the big boys.
What do you mean? You mean the big ones? You know, the top four. Yeah.
Oh, it means the fan base.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think.
I do think. I mean, I had a phone in on not Talk Sport, the other one, Radio 5 Live, and that was about when this news broke, and there was Man City and Liverpool fans phoning up saying,
"Yeah, there will be,
absolutely disgusting,
traditionalists."
Yeah, 100%. No, you can't do it. So I do think it's wrong. I think you're right. I think the modern business, results-based business fans, they won't give a shit. The ones who don't really care and see any value in the FA Cup, because I know you're the same, Nigel. I know you are. For me, I would give anything to win a domestic cup next year.
FA Cup, massive.
FA Cup, amazing. Yeah, imagine next year.
That would be amazing.
That would be the pinnacle
honestly.
for me.
Oh,
that would be the pinnacle for me.
Oh, I'd love to win the League Cup, and I'll tell you why, because we haven't won it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that either. But if I had the choice,
it'd be nice to say we've won the League Cup. And
no, but I don't like.
You wouldn't turn your nose up though, Nigel, would you?
Mate, look, I don't pay 330 quid to a Chinese company for a full-size replica of the fucking FA Cup. Yeah.
Have you got the other one, the conference?
No. I don't know if they've made one. Yeah. I will if the Chinese knock one up. I'll get.
Well, I think that one was made in Taiwan anyway, so you can get that one.
It's just the bars, wouldn't it? At the end of the day, the bottom had fallen out.
It's tin.
Yeah. I think that one cost us £34. Never mind,
you can't even keep flowers in it because there's no bottom to it. The water just dropped out the bottom.
It was a nice looking
vase. They do make one. The Chinese do make one. I saw it.
Oh, did they?
Did you?
Oh, yeah. You have to get one, Nigel.
I'll have to put my order in then.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I'll tell you what. Should we take a few phone calls? I'm not going to put my number. I'm not going to put my number out there. Don't anyone phone in and be horrible, please, or you get cut off.
No, it was. I think. I mean, people saying about the entertainment, but it was a back and forth between the two, and everyone likes to see.
Yeah, of course it was.
Come on,
of course it was.
Yeah, they're just a pair of peacocks showing off their cocks.
Just got to end the show in a nice, relaxing way. Cheer people up, you know.
No one's going to phone in there because
say nice, relaxing way. People like the mess and the chaos of it.
I know. It's why I watch Married at First Sight, Micky.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But I just sit there and I find it entertaining, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I do like it.
Yeah.
Yes, happy callers. Let's put some happy callers in.
Yeah, happy callers.
Nick's talking to someone. I bet it's fucking Nolly.
Oh dear.
That'd be nice to see what Nolly's got to say to Nigel. That'd be.
I think it'd be quite supportive. Of
you girl, yeah.
What's this? The football soul was sold a long time ago. It's a business now, nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, it was.
Now, why I agree with that, I do agree with that point. But just because the football soul was sold long ago doesn't mean us as fans.
No,
but it's harder.
But I think as generations come up, they'll be less inclined to give a shit about the FA Cup, won't they?
Exactly. We're being replaced. Slowly but surely. I agree with Yardy, by the way. If I had my way, I'd scrap it all and take us back to the old First Division, Second Division, UEFA Cup.
Look at that,
Cup
Gal.
Winners' Cup. Gary's Cupid's piss all over his I'd never want to do one of them again.
He had a shocker. I can't believe John done a pew the other night. That was fucking blinding.
No, I'll never do it again. The only reason I did it was because it was my first time back, and Nick sort of
you felt vulnerable.
He coerced you into it.
I forgot how powerful I was. Really, Nick was in charge, and he's like the matriarch, isn't he? So,
how do you three think the rest of the season is going to go? Where do you think we're going to end up? How do you think these 3 games are going to turn out?
9 points.
9 points. All right. What do you really think?
Gaslighter.
4 points.
Who we got? Luton, City, and
Chelsea next week. Luton,
draw Chelsea,
and then City.
beat Luton, and hopefully we get to see Man City lift the trophy.
Yeah.
look at the size of that Swede. Look.
Wow.
What's happened to your head? Why has it fucking gone so big? Oh, there you go. I shrunk it.
Nick, was you on the phone to someone?
Yeah. What's he doing? I don't think we're going to come lower than 10th because I looked at Bournemouth's games earlier.
Top 10 finish.
Yeah, Bournemouth
I expect 9th, to be fair.
Yeah, Bournemouth are 1 point behind us, but it means nothing because their remaining games are really tough.
When we finish now.
Do you know what? I was not on a wind-up, just quickly, but someone tweeted that don't like Moyes.
Yeah.
What a great season Bournemouth are having.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, of course, I had to say then.
Yeah.
Well, does that mean we're having a great season?
In my mind, though, but in my mind, Nigel, I consider us superior to.
No. Yeah, but when someone tweets, actually, what they didn't say what a great season with Bournemouth. They said what a great season, Iriola. Iriola was having.
I think.
Does that mean Moyes is having a great season?
No, because you've got to put it into context, Nigel.
Yeah.
What's the context?
Well, the context is it took him a while to get his style of football up and running, didn't it?
No. But there's different contexts. So, like, I'm a bit. I don't like the fact that Graham Potter has been written off because of what happened at Chelsea. Like every fan of every club.
What did Graham Potter do? Yeah, apart from Brighton.
Well, you've got to base him upon that, Nigel. You've got to base him upon that. No, that's how he got the Chelsea job.
He had the crazy American.
Sorry, can you hear me now? Everything crashed.
Yeah.
You're looking a bit patchy there.
Echoing.
I am.
We're echoing.
Oh,
it's you, Nick.
From you.
Hello. This is David Moyes. I'm not leaving you.
Hang on. Is that any better? I don't know if it's any better or not.
Hello.
Is that better?
No, it's not. Nick's back right there.
No, it all just died. Hang on.
That makes it sound better, doesn't it?
Right, what about now?
Yeah.
What about now?
No, it's still echo.
No, it's fine now, isn't it?
No, it's still
right?
echo.
Fuck
It's
off,
better.
yeah.
I can hear you.
Right, hang on.
Me.
Gary, I'll phone you back in a minute. Gary from Romford's phone line. I've had 5 fucking phone calls with Gary. I'll phone you back. Hang on.
Fucking hell, gal.
Gary from Romford. Is he still a bat? Is he old Gary from Romford?
Hang on.
You're still meeting him over the dogging, over the field.
The dogging side, yeah.
Bit of dogging on a Friday night.
Sorry, did I say that?
Often does it.
He loves it on a Friday afternoon.
What are you doing here, Gary? I'm getting some terracotta plant pots. What are you doing here, Nick?
He says it's to go down the nurseries to go and get some sort of food for his exotic fish, but I think there's plenty of fish. That's what.
All right, so he's hanging around football fields saying he's going down the nursery. Mate, I'll tell you that can be turning into
and then Nick's walking around going, "Who wants to look at my puppies?"
Yeah.
Who's this? Would you take Potter over?
Oh, is that not working now?
I'm
having a nightmare here.
Yeah, I would. I'd have Potter over
him. Who would you take out of them two? Say this was your only two.
I'd have Potter.
Yeah. I do think he got roughly treated at Chelsea because the American bought fucking everyone in on anyone he could find on like really long contracts, and so those players were not exactly motivated to perform because they've got like 10 years and 8-year contracts. Secondly, he had far too many players, so many that when he was given a team talk, there were players sitting on the floor because they ran out of chairs.
It was people in the corridor.
Yeah, that's working.
Is that not working? No, hang on a minute.
That's working.
No, hang on.
Not on his end.
You just called me, innit?
Yeah, no. One
Called
second.
in
Try again.
absolute mayhem. Can
Yeah.
I just add, Nick? What are you fucking doing?
Technology failure, John.
Oh, it's working. It's working.
Technology.
No, what
failure.
it is, I had my phone plugged in, so I unplugged it, and everything fucking died. I don't know why. I was only charging it.
You're not doing your job. You're not doing your job very well, are you? I mean, from a business perspective.
I'm not. Right, hang on. Right, we're gonna call James first. James wanted to call, and then I'm gonna phone. Is Amanda going to bed, or is everyone just sending her to bed again?
You know what it's like. Amanda never goes to bed, but everyone just sends her a bed. Good night, Amanda.
Night, Amanda.
Where's Amanda?
This number are barred from your phone.
Right, James.
I'm sorry. Goodbye.
James, you're gonna have to. Oh no, I've got to phone him via WhatsApp, haven't I?
You called him James in Spain.
James in Spain.
The James in Spain.
Who's mainly on the plane?
Right, here we go.
Oh, international
Here we
ringtone.
go.
Like an international superstar, isn't he?
It took 20 minutes. Oh,
Really?
Amanda's gone to bed, is she?
Don't mind him.
Has she gone to bed?
I think so. Not Amanda.
Oh, not Amanda.
Oh, Amanda has gone this time, she said.
Hello, is that
Yeah.
James?
It's James. Hello.
Hello, James. How are you? Can you all hear him?
James.
Hear who?
James.
All right.
Fuck
James.
yeah.
Can you hear him? Yeah. You all right, James?
Right, James. Okay, mate. I know I took the wind out yourselves earlier on when I said me thing had packed up. But do you want to get going again? Let me know what you want to talk about.
Right. So it was first and foremost great show. I was really looking forward to it because Nigel was coming on. I was desperate to hear because from my initial understanding, which should now, because this is important to clarify. So you're not saying Moyes in. What you're saying is you're putting an argument in this sort of theoretical world of, well, if this was the case, I can see why they'd give Moyes another contract. Is that where you're coming from?
Exactly right. Exactly
right, lovely.
Right.
So then when the stuff that was presented to you was like the goals, because you touched on goals, then Nick touched on goals as well, statistics. And then it was sort of boiled round to when it was mentioned about how much he spent. You said as well, again, not verbatim, but it was like, well, it's the day and age now, it's money, right? So again, it's business. Everything, really, the argument then is almost financially driven.
Yes,
is that right?
Well, the argument for keeping him, I think the main argument from the club, when you look at it, is financial. And the reason why Moyes is good for business is because when West Ham actual budget is normally set that they finish 10th. So when they finish above 10th, they're earning more money. So they will then divert that money into being spent on players. So the higher the finish, the more the manager gets to spend on players, finishing 10th or above. If you finish below 10th.
Right, let me interject. Hold on, let me interject, because I get all of that, but let's just stick to it then. It's financial, it's a business. That's regardless of all the bits and pieces, it's business, right?
Yep.
So what makes up any football business is, first and foremost, is the players. Now, the youth academy is a massive driver of financial gain to any football club because, like we've experienced with the Declan Rice, for example, you get people coming through the youth system for fuck all and selling them for 100 million, then fucking hell, you're onto something massive. Now, if you look, first of all, at our youth statistics of what we've... It don't matter even forgetting the last 3 years. Just last year, because surely any business is only as good as its current fucking rating where you are at that point in time. In the last year, statistically, Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, we're less than 100 minutes worth of our fucking
78 minutes. 78 minutes, yes.
So we've gone up 4 minutes, because I think it was 74 before. So we've gone up 4 minutes, yeah?
Right, that was
quickly.
George Urphy.
So then that's lovely, poor fella. I hope he's better anyway. But there's your first foremost. There's your underlying sort of revenue stream right at the bottom that you're supposed to nurture. David Moyes is irrefutably one of the worst fucking coaches I've ever experienced in regards to coaching younger players. In fact, if you look at his history, he puts a block on them. And there's always fucking issues with stars like Rooney, like Barkley as well. Like, again, he's had issues.
Well, Rooney, sorry to cut your flow, but there is it's the Blue Boys podcast where Rooney talks about this in quite some detail, how he tried several times to block him. But basically, whenever Rooney came on for the little 5-10 minutes, Nigel was banging goals in the top corner, so he couldn't ignore him.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah, go on, James.
Right. So again, there you got that side. So there's your youth. Like I said, then we've got to look at your current squad, which is obviously your biggest driver, is your fucking stars, right? in the last 3 years, going back to what you said about the money and putting in perspective of everyone else's spend, all right, let's say everyone else spent 450 fucking million. How come we've got the oldest and smallest squad? Again, facts, just based on logic. If we're looking at the business perspective, right, that's a fact, right? Then we look at how well we've done over these last years. We got a stadium given to us for fuck all. In fact, we're now potentially getting done for doing it. So the money that we've made in that. Then you look at fucking Bowen, an example of someone who's developed. Bowen was taking sacks of sand up and down hills where he fucking lived in between the fucking seasons. He done all that on his own. Then if you look at the whole fucking football as a business now, as a product of what your product is made up of, where's the case now for him to fucking run it again next season?
Yeah. Totally agree with that.
That's
all of those
facts. And they are irrefutable facts. So if you're looking at that, Nigel, from David Sullivan's perspective, from a business point of view, then is that not? How can that not factor in if you're looking at it from a purely business standpoint?
Look, everything factors in, yeah. But if you look at the places that we finished. Listen, COVID or not, finishing 6th, yeah. The prize money that West Ham got was pushed it up. Finishing 7th,
but all of it is eclipsed by Declan Rice's £100 million sale. So like
let's take that on the basis. Then. So let's look at the youth. Let's look at the youth setup. Yeah. So you'll see a lot of people say, "Why did we bother with an academy? Yeah, we don't play them." But then, if you look at how much it costs to run academy, it could be, I think it's about $1.5 million to $2 million a year.
But that's peanuts in Premier League world.
Off the top, no. But that's it. Let's say. So, how does that pay for itself? Well, Grady Deargarner, not a first team regular. Yeah, it was sold for 18 million. Everybody kicked off. He's done well at West Brom, but he's still playing in a Championship team. Yeah, we got 18 million. So therefore. That's 100% pure profit there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At the end of the day,
David
Moyes is not a manager that really, for me, rightly or wrongly, I'm just saying it, that runs the academy. David Moyes don't run the academy, does he?
He's not even interested in the academy.
So there are other people that run the academy.
He's not interested in the academy.
But what I'm saying is, we'll go back to James's point. It should 100% be part of your mandate.
Yeah, right. So here we go then. So then what we do is we can then look at the players that West Ham have let go, and go, right,
where have they done? I know what you're going to do because you've said it before.
No. The ones that have left. So we've had players that have walked out on us for nothing. I ain't staying and whatever. Have they embarrassed us?
I want to respond to this when you finish.
No, they haven't.
Listen,
so when you're challenging to be a top 6 team, which a lot of West Ham fans think we should be, let's not get this right. We should be challenging that team for 6th spot. Yeah?
Yeah.
Can you do that? Yeah. If with the kids. And when you look at the kids that ain't getting a game, are they good enough? Because West Ham gets romantically attached.
Nigel, can I just answer? Because I was chatting. I spent half an hour chatting to King.
I'll tell you why, Micky. I'll answer your question now. 18-year-olds beating 18-year-olds. When they're 18 and they're going up against 32-year-old defenders,
they all have to start somewhere. They've got to.
Right.
Nigel, do you think
why they keep the academy
talking
players
about, Nigel?
Yeah. So hold up. I can't read the quote something. So this is academies. What you got to remember as well is if you've got 2 absolutely top-notch players, in your academy, you still got to keep another 13 or 14 to play with them. You know they ain't good enough. You know they're not going to make your first.
But Nigel, I agree with that.
To run an academy football team, you have to have 15, 16 players. The chances are you may only want one of them out of there. but he still needs other players to play with.
But that's not the situation
hang on.
now. That's not the situation now.
No,
I spoke with Keenan Potts for half an hour in the Forge the other week, right? And what they had to say was really, really interesting, enlightening, because I brought all those arguments up. Look at these players, Dean Garner, blah blah blah, who left, and they just said they were not at the level we're talking now. No. And Potts and Keane, one was a former captain, one was a former regular in the top flight. They should know what it takes for a Premier League player to come through and develop. So that's the example that I used to him. I said, in your opinion, because you know that route, how many players in that youth team at the moment will be or are capable of being regular Premier League footballers, right? And the answer was 5 to 6, right? 5 to 6 players.
Yeah.
They reeled them off to me. I ain't going to say them all, but one of them was Casey. One of them was Casey, right? Marshall was one of them. Yeah, that's 2.
Murphy.
No, Kadua wasn't mentioned, but I'm just saying it was. I'm not going to name them all because I'm fair on the others, right? I'll just say those 2, right? So let me just put that out there, because if they think they've got 5 to 6, and the way they described it, you know, it was just saying the ones that have gone before are on a whole different level to these kids, right? That's what they said. So I believe them.
And going back to that point, it does have to be. It's such an easy argument to dismiss it. It's like saying
I've not dismissed it.
No. But what I mean is, it's like when I know you haven't done that, but it's like when Haller failed, and we've got so many fans going, "Oh, it's because they're shit, and it's because they're not made for the Premier League." No, it's not. It's because they weren't being played to their strengths, and they've gone on and Haller went and broke records in the fucking Champions League, which is the very top. So it had nothing to do with the level. If you look at the form...
No, but hold up, Nick. The one thing is, if you look back in the history of the Premier League, there has been world-class players that have come to the Premier League.
Oh, Shevchenko, I know there have been. Yeah, but Nigel, you're talking about a massive collection of players here.
Yeah.
A massive collection of players. It ain't
Can I say something?
The funny thing is, they may actually they may actually come from... I'm not sure... Listen... Moyes ain't got a leg to stand on, realistically, on the way he brings youth players in. But here's another thing, very quickly, before we let John in Spain come back, is that James, 9 times out of 10, or in the years gone past, these next 3 games, if you look where we are, what we'd be doing, we would have been putting kids in. We'd have been putting kids in. But nowadays, it's a different. Why? Well, back then, European football never dropped down to 7th spot. Back then, it weren't £2.5 million a league placing, and the pressure is everything. Back then, managers were pretty safe in their job, no matter what happened, if they weren't getting relegated. Different kettle of fish now. So,
you're saying there's less patience with the youth.
Now, it's a gap.
They give them less time because of the pressure.
Where before, 2-3 games of the season to go.
But Nigel,
2 18-year-olds starting.
But one second, before we let James go, that's massively incorrect now, because if you look at the table this year, the Premier League minutes, Brighton have got, this is teenagers, 3,750 minutes they've got of teenagers have got minutes in the league. We're 15th down the bottom.
Liverpool
Man
right
City,
there as well.
Liverpool, Arsenal. You've got all of these teams have got fucking, and I'm talking hundreds to thousands of minutes where they're giving them proper time. Mate, honestly.
Can I just point out, that ain't just under Moyes, though. This ain't a thing just under Moyes.
Yeah, but
it happened under Pellegrini.
But Nigel, one second. We're talking about having a group of kids now that cleaned up last year. These are a very talented bunch, right? And they've been given a collective 78 minutes.
And Pellegrini
over the course of the season.
Pellegrini turned Rice into a central defensive midfielder and stuck by him for his rough period. Told him not to go out on loan because he would use him. Played him 37 times that year. Developed him as an ever present. So Pellegrini, Rice holds him responsible for his success.
Can we push James back
in?
Go on, James.
Yeah, go on, James.
Sorry, James.
Yeah, no. Listen, it just shows you as well how far. For me, we went off and then come back onto, because let's just stick to, again, the business perspective of it. So, like you just said, we've got a league table that I'm looking at as well with Brighton with 3,751 minutes, and it goes down, right? So, all these teams, and on that league, we're in 14th place. Now, first and foremost, our youth team, like we've just we can't disagree. We are, ain't we the best at the minute under 21?
Yeah, we are.
Like,
we cleaned up last year.
We are the best, aren't we?
Yeah.
We cleaned up, right? So we know that league table of us being 14th from 74 minutes, what that's fucking showing from a business perspective, that we are driving our model against literally to the antithesis of what it is that we're trying to achieve in the first place. Because again, going back to football, regardless of all the money involved that we can get lost in, you're still only really as good as your fucking youth teams. Because look at Liverpool this year, they've been playing a lot of their fucking youth players. And they're fucking, where are they? Were they second, third in the league as well? And then even the question about what is football, you know, what is the point of football? Looking at those minutes, right? Again, all them teams that have been playing, all them kids, and our manager has been saying that, you know, ours ain't good enough to play. Yet every single one of them teams, I would take their style of football over our fucking common style of football, which is the point of football for me. Every single time, and they're bringing on kids. I remember whenever fucking Joe Cole or anyone come on over West Ham as a kid, you went nuts.
Well, listen, James.
All part of.
But James, it was against Fulham, wasn't it? It was against Fulham when Earthy came on. It was Fulham, wasn't it? So yeah. So the game was gone, Nigel. The game was gone. Yeah, we was all fuming. But then, do you know what? He brought Earthy on for that final 10 minutes. I reckon everyone in that stadium, all of a sudden, the ones that were left, all of a sudden, sparks are interested again. They're like, fuck, this is good. So this is what I don't understand. And also, Nigel, as well, do you know, like at this stage of the season, now, well, look, it is a bit dead. I know you said it's still a chance. Not really. Our league position has been false for months because we've had 2-3 games in hand over everyone around us for ages. That's still the case now in some instances. We're not going to finish 8th. It's not going to happen. But... You've got him bringing on the likes of, look, with all due respect, Ben Johnson, who isn't going to be here next year. He's already committed elsewhere. Cornet, he's not. He don't want to use him.
Ben Johnson, academy player.
But he's going to let him go. He's gone. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, you've got all these other players. Ben Johnson should be here. We shouldn't be letting Ben Johnson go, but he's going to go because they won't give him the time. They won't give him.
He ain't got a position. He ain't got a position. He's 23.
Yeah, so he should go as far as I'm concerned. If I was Ben Johnson, I'm a West Ham fan, I'd fucking go. But with you look at the some of the subs that he makes, you think you've had Casey on the bench. You look how ropey our defence has been. I'm not being funny. There's been an opportunity to throw Casey on there for Zuma. Zuma can't. He runs like he's got shit in his nappy.
I've watched Casey firsthand at that Wickham game, and I've got to say, he looks like a mature defender. He's 6'4". He's a big lump. He needs to fill out a bit, but he's really good with the ball. Made no mistakes, and that was against a really ferocious, fucking physical side, right?
Yeah. And look,
Potts will be coming back next year after his year loan at Wickham.
He got player of the year.
Well, people that go like we've said that the Championship is one of the hardest leagues in the Champions League. Championship is one of the hardest leagues in Europe. There's no two ways about it. He's done really well there. So, you know, we'll see.
Ever-present, player of the year, runs like Declan Rice, plays like.
If he don't get minutes next year, what's the point?
And just to give you some sort of idea on the seriousness of the man that we're talking to here, Nigel. This is James, who just travelled over from Spain.
Yes, we signed his tits yesterday.
We signed his tits. He came over with his boobies. This is James, who's on our because you know we run our support network. And James is basically heading up all of that. The guy is fucking amazing. He is. And this is who you're talking to. He's a proper West Ham fan. Honestly, he's out of this world. James is 100% right, Nigel, that this show didn't happen next weekend. Because when's it starting, James?
On the 1st, on Wednesday.
Starting on the 1st, Nigel. I'm going on a 10-day fast. The first 3 days of which I'm just drinking water.
I did see that, Nick.
So it's probably just as well this didn't happen next weekend. Otherwise, I might have lost my temper.
I remember walking into a Black Lion, all them pizzas on the desk.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But yeah, so yes, I'm going to give that a little shout out as well. Because anyone that does fancy doing that with me or wants to know a little bit more about it, you can jump over the link to our membership pages it's in the chat actually, but it's also in the description of the video.
Water for 3 days?
No. It's a juice fast. It's a juice fast. So the first 3 days, James, tell him what it is.
You got a worse diet than Terry White.
First 3 days. So first 3 days is a water purge. You flush through your system, clean all your pipes out, and then 7 days of nutritious dominant juicing. So yeah, it's good. You'll physically see Nick completely changing. It's amazing what people get up to in 10 days. But yeah, listen, thanks for letting me on here. I'll just say one last thing about the youth thing as well, Nigel. And I know, and all. Can you just imagine, I was really fortunate where I grew up. You remember Lamana Luar that played for Newcastle? Yeah. He grew up just round the corner from me. My dad used to come training to Cholton when I was going over there with him. And when he made it, I never forget the conversation. We came into the Forest Gate Hotel pub and he said, when you walk onto the pitch and you get a few minutes and the crowd cheer you, he said, it's like a season's worth of fucking training instantly. He said, because it becomes real. In those moments, you feel what he said, nothing you've done before and in the youth, nothing compares to that feeling. And that, for me, is what David Moyes statistically has proven. He's fucking suffocating. And that's why he's a cunt and he should fuck off. So anyway, thanks for having me on.
That's fine. That's fine, Jay. Thank you very much for that. Look.
Look, listen, I can sit here and look, listen, we're emotionally attached to, we call ourselves the Academy, self-titled, yeah? We all love kids that come through. Sorry? Personally, I think the fact that, the fact that we haven't got a regular first team player that comes from West Ham, needs to be fixed because there should always be a link.
Mate. Fucking Flynn Downs.
Yeah, no, that's not. No, this is the thing. Listen, if you probably don't listen to me, I said I look forward to the summer when Flynn Downs come back. I didn't agree with him going out on loan and whatever. But then at the end of the day, Flynn Downs weren't an academy player, so
it wasn't
whatever.
No.
We've always been, but if you look back at our previous, which you probably can't do, if you look back at our previous Youth Cup winning, I think from '99 we only brought Carrick and Cole through.
Oh yeah. No, that's right.
From the previous '81 was Dickens and Bobby Barnes, but then Barnes got pushed out to lower down, and Dickens, Paul Allen, but Paul Allen was. Paul Allen was probably the only person in history to win an FA Cup winners medal before he won an FA Youth Cup winners medal.
And then
so he was already established in the first team.
Oh, Gary's frozen.
Look about 5 from that one.
60s. If you look at when we won the Youth Cup in the 60s, again, Redknapp was in the team. I think only a couple came through from then.
It was about 4 or 5, Nigel. I think 4. 4. I can't remember the names.
So, but in the 60s, actually, you looked at 3/4 of West Ham team, and they were from the academy. But that's football's far left that behind. And listen, the academy is a fantastic argument. I follow it. I think the under-21s. I know they got beat against Leicester. I think the other day, and they got beat by Arsenal. They got absolutely. So I think the under-18s are still 4th in the league or 5th in the league overall. If you put the northern and southern section together, I think the under-21s have definitely gone up and won their league. And when you think the under-21s was predominantly the 18-year-olds that came up, so their first year under-21s, not second or third year under-21s, they brought near enough 3/4 of that first that team up. I still got high hopes for boys coming through the academy, but they got, at the end of the day, as I say, they got to prove it. And in the past 10 years, different managers, we haven't really.
I think as you've seen, Nigel, the way young players make it when there's a manager who enjoys young players, bringing them through and developing them, the way they make it is they're drip fed into the team, not just chucked on for 4 minutes to close out a game. You'd actually have a full strength team, and you might have an injury at left back. So if you've got a good left back, you bring the left back in and you get the senior players to look after them and help bring them on. And they might fail the first game, right? But then you calm them down, you bring them back.
Gary. They should get mentored
exactly.
by somebody.
And this is where Noble apparently is the, he's the he's the one.
You would like to think he would be.
They were very complimentary of Noble in getting a route through to the first team, a path through to the first team.
A round of applause to my dogs who have been in here all night and they've made a peep. Look, they've made a peep tonight.
Yeah.
You want to see my puppies?
But to get they said, Noble is the one. If Noble is empowered to create this route through to the first team, you're not talking about throwing a load of kids in, doing an Allardyce or anything like that. You're talking about drip feeding them, developing them, but not just to close games out and shit like that. Give them proper game time. Even if he's cups.
The funny thing is with FFP Academy, and this is the thing, Chelsea's a puppy farm, yeah? 5 years ago or 4 years ago, we were all sitting there going, why have Chelsea got 70 players? Yeah? Well, now we know, doesn't it? Because this is how Chelsea have managed to stick within the, apart from selling hotels to themselves and everything.
Yeah, but then
they'll be forced though now to sell Conor Gallagher. They'll be forced to sell Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, but then Nigel, that backs up the importance of the academy even more, because if you do get into FFP problem and you sell those players for the bigger money, more money.
Guess what we did, didn't we, with Declan?
Love Dags.
Well,
yeah.
So, that's what I'm saying in the main.
We did with Grady Diagana, 18 million, 100%. And even when we sell these players for 2-3 million, lower down. And as I go back to it, when people turn around and go, why ain't these kids everything? We're ruining these kids. And this is the thing. Sometimes the system ruins them. You loan them out to League One, we create League One players, the likes of Nathan Holland and that. But the kid who I can't remember that young striker's name, looked really good, went to Leeds. Where's he gone? God knows.
Sonny Perkins.
Yeah, Sonny Perkins. Jeremy Ngakia, fantastic defender. Yeah. Didn't want to sign a contract with West Ham. I'm going to Watford.
I discussed all them and the one that played on the right that went up to Newcastle. I discussed all of them and they were dismissed as not at this level.
Right. But Ngakia was, because Ngakia was on the contract.
He weren't at this level. Not the level of these boys, Nigel.
Gal, we've had James on the line for ages. James, thank you very much for the call, mate.
Yeah, nice one, lad.
Thank you, James.
Come your way.
Cheers, mate. Come on,
James.
He's a top man. Honestly, right. This bloke came over. We had a Claret and Booze meet up, and
I wasn't invited.
You were invited. You didn't turn up, but he literally right. He fucking flew
even
over.
I turned up.
Yeah, you did.
But not Nigel. You won't be invited next time.
But Nigel flew over. He stays with it because obviously his family are in East London. So he's staying with his family, and he got up in the morning of the game. He drove all the way around to Surrey. He literally, and it weren't because Pete was asking him. He wanted to do it. He went to pick Stuart up. Went to pick Stuart up from Surrey and Godalming.
I would have gone to pick them up.
But
you'd have had the meter on.
Yeah, I know.
But he brought Stuart back to the pub. And then John, he took John home. John to Kent. This was like after the game had finished. Came back to the pub, picked up Stuart, took Louis, took him home, and then he literally just went round to Gatwick Airport and fucking slept in the airport. But the only thing is, he's got the sun and the sea to look forward to after that, hasn't he? But he's honestly such a fucking great guy. Honestly, he really is.
Lovely bloke.
He's a top man. He's a brilliant guy.
He's so positive.
He is. A bit like me.
It's very similar. Very similar.
Yeah.
Bit like me.
Say that. They're very much alike.
Yeah.
Right. Especially when he was wearing them fake boobs, you and him were very much.
I'm looking forward to this new dick in 10 days' time. Yeah.
New dick.
New Nick.
Oh.
He got it right the first time. Hello, Gary.
Hello, Nick.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Hello, Gary.
All right, Gary.
Hello.
Right, you're
a great show tonight.
Oh, good. Yeah, sorry about all the shouting. Nigel just only came on to fucking wind me up. That's all he did.
It's great to see Nigel on. Good to see John back again. Been a long time.
He is.
Cheers, mate. I know it's good to see me back. I know all the women love it when I'm back. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to make Gary's night tonight. I'm not going to mention the word Moyes.
Hey!
Oh my God!
But you just did.
You just did.
Yeah. Apart from that, I was just going to say,
instead.
How frustrating was it last week, midweek, when you see like Newcastle, Wolves, Brighton, Chelsea all getting beat, all of them getting beat around us. And you think about the Newcastle game, 3-1 up, Fulham at home, Palace, we'd have took 7 points from them 3 games. You know, we could have been well and truly back in Europe next season.
It's been, but Gary, it's actually been, this second part of the season has been a massive fucking failure. I mean, we were six after 19 games, and then we've literally got what have we got since? I think we've got a point per game. We've got 16 points in 16 games. It's been ridiculous, and we're still 8th, right? It's literally all we had to do was not draw against Sheffield United, not draw against Burnley, not get beat by Forest, not get beat, not draw at home to Bournemouth, not get beat at home to Fulham. It's almost been Europe this year has almost been handed on a plate, and we've just fucking pushed back against it. That's what we've done.
And when you think of our form in December, and suddenly it's January, it's just got, you can't believe it. What I was going to say to you, lads, I mean, the European now, it's a long shot. The only thing I'll say, we've got Chelsea next. They played yesterday. They played midweek against Arsenal.
Yeah.
They played last week as well against someone else, and they've got to play Tottenham before they play us next weekend. They've got Tottenham next Thursday. So they're going to be a bit fatigued, I think.
Did you watch the second half?
Of what?
The Chelsea game.
I saw the highlights last night. Yeah.
Fuck me, honestly, they were terrifying in that second half.
Yeah.
I know they're a bit touch. I know they're a bit hit and miss.
Against Arsenal, and they were rubbish. So,
they were rubbish. They bounced back, and that second half they were.
Chelsea, they're a team of they're good individuals, but not a team. Not yet anyway. What I was going to say to you, Nick, I don't want Nigel and John and Gary think about this. Kudus and Paqueta. Now I know we've always said about playing Paqueta in the middle, but since the Wolves game, he's packed up, mate. He's doing nothing.
He's done. I think he's done.
He's been rubbish, yeah. And Kudus isn't. Kudus is still trying. Now, what I was going to say, why not get Kudus off the left, put him in number 10 role where Paqueta's playing, and put Paqueta back on the left, because Paqueta can still contribute from the left, but Kudus in a 10 will be far more effective, and he's really got putting the effort in still. I would do that now. It's different if Paqueta was playing well, but at the moment, I think we've got Bowen on the right, Antonio, put Kudus behind Antonio, and put Paqueta on the left where he's linked with Emerson. And I think actually that could work in our favour. I don't know what you lads think about that.
I like it. I think it's a good idea because that is Kudus's natural position, number 10 in the middle. He's not been played there once, but then again, because we've had Paqueta, he hasn't done it.
Yeah.
Well, one second, Gary. Yes, Crafty. We are going to be doing another one in the summer. We are. But this one was basically for the support group that we run. So we will be doing another one as well.
And you wouldn't all fit in the black line, to be fair. You might need a bigger venue.
Exactly. No, it was for the support. It was for the support group.
Yeah, not you, Crafty Dave. And with a name like Crafty, you ain't coming anywhere near me, lad.
Yeah, Dave.
Even the other one, I think you're gonna have to be a member anyway, ain't you, to get the to see that when we're doing it.
I said to Dave in the comments the other day, he's always invited. You're always invited, Dave.
Everyone's invited. It's not exclusive. But
I wasn't invited, Dave. You got no chance.
I can't advertise it on Twitter, or people will turn up with pickaxes.
But Nick, those that don't like you on Twitter are all under 18. They're not allowed in pubs.
That's a great point, Dave. Yes.
Nigel, you're coming on the open bus tour when we book the open bus.
I look forward to it. I'll bring me a fake cup.
And what's that all about earlier on, about me over the field, meeting Nick? What's all that about?
You love a bit of dogging, apparently.
You love a bit of dogging.
Well, Nick, I was up your way yesterday. I
was in yesterday.
He didn't deny it, did he?
No wonder Nick's run for cover. Look, fucking hell.
You didn't catch me, did you?
Yeah. I was going to say, you talked about the youth team earlier. I was listening with interest because I said to you last week, when you think we won the league last year and we won the cup, we done a double. Beat Arsenal 5-1 in the final at the Emirates. And when you think, whether the kids are good enough or not, we will never know until they try them. When you look at Liverpool kids, or Klopp they're throwing in, and we beat them apparently 4-0, you think, well, it's a chance.
Gary, we've got a same thing now.
We've got a small aging squad. We've got a small aging squad.
But not nice. Just very quickly.
Falling with the same thing there. It's right, and this is the thing. Our 11 could be better than Liverpool's 11, but Liverpool can have three outstanding players, and they still need the other players around them to play.
Of course they do.
So you can't look at it like that, look what they've brought through. Why ain't we brought them through? Because their players,
You can't.
head and shoulders. Those 3 players that got on Kumas.
But are you telling me? Do you know that 4 minutes that Earthy was on? We saw so much in that 4 minutes. How bright he looks. You don't want to see more of Earthy.
To be fair to the lad, if
you don't want to see more of
in the head, he might have had more.
But what I'm saying is, this is just a player from the academy, and this is the thing that you get when you do bring. And the thing is, it isn't just the one who I really felt sorry for most was Mabama, because I do kind of feel
that's a waste of time.
I do kind of feel
on loan.
No, but I kind of felt like Mabama was brought in because he was profiled in such a way that he's big, he's strong, he can do that Antonio role if Antonio's unfit. And that's the thing. That's what I thought he was brought in for that. So you throw him up there in the same scenario, he ain't going to be able to do the Antonio role. Skamaka can't do it. Haller couldn't do it. He ain't going to be able to do that role.
He's never played in that role in the U team, and that's the advantage Liverpool have got, because they play the same formation in the reserve in the U team as the first team, so the players can come in and operate in the same position in the same system. Right, that's the difference. Moyes cannot. We play 4-2-3-1 with lots of defensive players. It takes seasoned pros that we sign, even excellent pros, ages to get used to the Moyes system and the amount of defending they've got to do. So if you're going to take someone out of a 3-4-3 and throw them into that, it's going to be a bit of a culture shock. Yeah. But I'm not letting him off with that. I'm just saying that is why it's a bit of a leap.
The whole youth thing, right? Yeah. It relies upon a pathway, 100%, because you can quite easily, you can have a team of 12-year-olds and there might only be one player you fancy there, Nigel, like you say. But within 2 or 3 years, they all develop differently, and all of a sudden, those that were there like fodder, almost making up the numbers, could all of a sudden overtake.
Rice was fodder. Rice was fodder.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
no, he wasn't fodder. But
he was. Reece Oxford was the star of that academy.
Yeah, but Rice was 50-50. Yes, Rice was 50-50. Right. Yeah. And he got his opportunity. Yeah. Sometimes you don't know when a player's given that opportunity. You don't know how it can change them, make them think they can up their game, as Rice did.
I'll tell you what. This goes back to something Mark Noble said when he made his debut. Right, he said when he made his debut and he came on the pitch, he said he was doing things he didn't know he was capable of doing. Yeah. He lifted his game. He sort of he rose to the and this is the thing. Unless they're tried, it was like, do you remember? In a sense, do you remember when we brought Antonio in? And apparently, when we got Antonio in, we tried to loan him out because he looked shit in training. But he said no. And apparently, the only time Slaven Bilic knew his value was on a match day, putting him in a match day environment. Yeah. You watch him and you go, "Oh fuck me! Oh, there you go." Oh, that's
some people don't train well as well.
That's what he does.
It reminds me with Alan Devonshire Nigel remember this when Alan Devonshire first came. He was a skinny little lad, and he was throwing up the first day in training. And I remember him watching him making his debut, and he soon developed. But can I ask Nigel? Nigel, do you follow the youth team quite closely, or do you you quite up on it, or not?
I followed the results. I watched some of the stuff online.
Yeah, because there's a couple of lads. I keep hearing certain names. I mean, I've heard about the Casey, the centre half, and Alford in midfield, supposed to be very good. Apart from the obvious Scholes, Mabama, Marshall, Potts. But at the moment, with Mavropanos and Gerd injured, with Zuma and Bonner, it's a real lack of pace. It's a concern. I wouldn't mind seeing Casey alongside one of them, or maybe the pair of them. If we can't get into Europe, we've got these 3 games, maybe give them a little go. Cut just one or two of them,
Yeah.
Look, I'm not against that, but when I sit here and give the reasons why, it ain't because I don't believe that should happen. I'm trying to give you reasons why it don't happen. Because of the
from a business perspective.
Well, not just from the business perspective, it's the risk. It's the risk.
Yeah.
What if you did? Yeah, and this is the thing, but what it boils down to, one thing I've long said for years and years, is if you had reserve football,
it's different.
Where the kid went in at 18. And played with 30-odd-year-olds, and there was the mixture of ages, you'd have a better understanding. The thing is, they go from playing 18-year-olds to playing 21-year-olds, to then they've got to go in and play top Premier League football, which is what we're after. And this is the thing. It
is a big league.
A lot of people that say we should be throwing in academy kids, seeing how good they are, are the same people that think we should be challenging top 6. It don't really happen.
Yeah.
People talk about the Liverpool. He's played them in the cups and whatever. He ain't really playing them week in, week out. Week out.
But
Did they play at the weekend in Mick? Did they? When he dropped Salah.
No, when
did
you
he
say
pick 5 players?
You've got to look at something like some of the players, that you've seen, like say Soufal when he goes up the ball. How can the youth player do any worse?
Well, you don't know, do you?
Well, that's the thing. You don't know. Neither does
when you say how could they do worse, of course they could do worse.
Well, when we see them down in teams,
but Nigel, this goes back to that argument, right? What we were saying the other day. Do you know? If you go, for instance, if you go back to like Moyes' comments post Leverkusen, where he came out, this is after the first leg. And he started saying, well, Alonso's got 17 to 18 players that he uses and that he rotates. Well, the only reason that he's got that is because his squad players are part of his squad. He uses them, he rotates them so they're fresh. And I said to you before, the likes of Ben Rama, the likes of Fornals, I know they've had minutes and it's this, that, the other. But the fact of the matter is, David Moyes uses these players as spare parts. If you're not in that starting 11, you get brought on. You get brought on to rest the player. You don't get brought on to show what you can do. You don't get brought on to impact anything because it's like for like. There's no tactical changes. So if you're outside of that 11, you're a spare part. And if you're a kid, you've got no fucking chance because it's squad seniority.
Yeah.
But then again, I still go back to if over the years, that is the case, where are the youth players that he hasn't given a chance that are embarrassing?
Yeah, but then you can blame him for that because part of the development is part of the club that they're at. Of course you can, Nigel. No. But what I'm saying is, if you keep a kid hanging around, for 3 years, 4 years, you don't give him any minutes at all, and then you let him go, you've starved that kid of fucking any development at all. That's what you've done.
A lot of kids. We've had a lot of kids walk out on our academy before Moyes and whatever. Yeah, we've had a lot of kids that when they've got to 18 or whatever, gone. No, not signing a contract. I'm going.
There's a very good chance that Declan Rice, if he'd have gone when he was, but there's a very good chance that Declan Rice, if he'd have gone when he was 18, he would not be the Declan Rice that he is now. He's the Declan Rice that he is now. But he got
given a chance.
He was given a chance. That's the point. He was brought through, and they stuck with him when he made mistakes.
But he took his chance.
But that's the point. How do you know they can't take the chance if they're not given one?
Yes. Well, you could say that, but then David Moyes might turn around and go, "I've given 15 academy players there."
2 minutes.
5 minutes.
2 minutes at the end of a Europa League, dead rubber. Nigel, you don't even believe that, mate. You don't.
For an example.
I'm just pointing out examples when people throw these brickbats out, that there is always an answer to go, why?
But it's not an answer. But it's not an answer.
No,
that's David. That's what you're arguing is David Moyes' tick box, giving him 2 minutes, never see him again.
That's how they work.
Stop ticking Moyes' box.
Yeah.
You know when Emerson was out and he put Creswell back in. That's when you should have been given a chance because Creswell ain't signing another contract.
What player then, Mick? Go on.
What about Skulls on the left?
Is he a left back?
Oh, yeah, he plays left back.
Yeah.
He plays left wing back.
He's a left back,
more left back, left wing back. Yeah. Attacking, he's very good. Yeah.
He's not a defender, then, is he?
No, he's a wing back. Nigel, he's a wing. He's a wing back, left back. He is. He can play anywhere. He's like an Emerson.
So why are you not giving him a chance instead of Creswell, who's come to the end of his career and not going to stay on? That's when the youth should be given a chance.
They should be. I don't think there's an argument against it.
No, I believe the children of the future, if I'm honest.
Treat them well and let them lead the way, John.
Yes.
It'd be interesting to see what happens if a new manager does come in, if Moyes does go, and if how much they do give the youth players a chance. Maybe what Nigel's got a point. Maybe, as fans, we want to see it, but of course, the fact is, it's the manager's job, isn't it? And it's a very competitive league.
Yeah, but you're not playing the dog and duck. But the thing is, it all comes down to the mandate of that manager's job, and I think that the mandate of the manager's job that comes in needs to be you've got to have a youth focus. You have to at least factor it in. It has to be a consideration.
Now, Nick, to be honest,
the next manager will have to.
And I'll tell you why. Yeah,
Stuyden's there.
Well, not because Stuyden's there. I'll tell you why. Because we ain't. It's a good chance we don't play in Europe again for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. So the money, the income that the club makes from being in Europe ain't going to be here anymore. Yeah. So, and at the end of the day, under this current ownership, we ain't ever going to be anything. Under this current ownership, all they do is put the handcuffs on. And everybody goes, "We got 150 million to spend."
Nigel, can we
sell players?
Nigel, can we clear something up for people at the moment? Do you know the January transfer window that's just gone? Yeah. Which a lot of people have got the ump about.
Yep.
Was David Moyes offered? Was David Moyes offered a lot of players, and did he want them?
I believe he was. I couldn't name them because he was.
But he was.
There was players that he didn't think would add
left
to
wingers,
his whatever.
I
don't know.
Wingers. Well, you know
names or whatever.
You know one of them.
Or whatever. Yeah, he was up the players. Listen, I've turned around and said, what a big mistake. I've said what a big mistake January was.
Yeah, but he's made that same mistake every January.
He did it 2
some
years
of
ago.
it, hold up. Some of it, the club has made the mistake. David Moyes not made the mistake.
7, 8 years. If Nigel's right, we're not in Europe for another 6, 7, 8 years, which could happen. This is an ideal chance this year to get back into Europe because the teams around us are slipping up left, right, and centre. It wouldn't have been that hard.
It wouldn't have been. We've won 3 games in 2024.
We've done exactly the same thing. We've done exactly the same thing 2 years ago when we got to the Europa League final, semi-final, sorry, and the players were just knackered. And this is the other thing. If you do play some of the youth, just out of argument's sake,
but just to stop you there, Gal, just get factually correct. When we got to the Europa League semi-final, we did qualify for Europe. Yeah. When we got to the Europa League semi-final in the league, we then did qualify for Europe again.
Yeah, I know, Nige, but what I'm saying to you is we could have won the Europa League, couldn't we? The players were, got the semi. I still maintain Frankfurt game.
No, we could have won that. We could have won the league if we'd have strengthened in that January, Nigel. We absolutely could have won that.
What, the Europa League?
Yeah,
that's a big ask. Let's
we were going. Don't forget, we were challenging
Frankfurt ain't no Leverkusen.
And Europa League.
No way.
Frankfurt ain't no Leverkusen, and it would have been Rangers in the final.
Yeah, we could have won that.
They ain't no Leverkusen, but they still managed to get to the last 16 of the Champions League, got through their group stages. And I think, and this is the thing where I will agree with people when they say about there's no managers out there. Glasner was sitting there doing nothing, and Crystal Palace found him. And I said it at the time. I'd have taken Glasner all day long.
Yeah. Listen, I've got to go, Nick. Cheers.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cheers, Nigel. I hope we haven't given Sean any video footage that he can clip and post on his videos. All right.
I'm sure he will. He'll be very happy.
I will leave that to the under 18s.
Yeah. Night all. Thanks everyone in the chat. See you later. Bye.
Right.
Night, Gal. Night, Amanda.
Night, Gary.
Night, Amanda. Night, Amanda.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, but no. Look, it has been a bit. I found it just a very, very frustrating, a frustrating couple of years. Bar the cup win, it was a wonderful night, a beautiful night, a brilliant night, one of the best nights, absolutely one of the best nights to actually win a cup. But barring that, it's been a draining couple of fucking years. And it isn't to do with the league table.
I've seen worse.
No, but it isn't. We've all seen worse, Nigel. But the frustrating thing is, Nigel, is that you haven't really seen worse when you've got the riches that we've got now. And what really frustrates me is it's like the team is being held back. And they are, because you've seen it against Leverkusen, what they're like when you when you get them to go out and play on the front foot. They are being held back.
I think ultimately a lot of the fan base are in the mindset of what could have been, almost what could have been, because we feel like the players have been held back. We might be wrong, but I don't think we are. Because when you see the Leverkusen first half, it shows what they're capable of, and that was with missing 2 of our better players, Brazilians, this year.
That's the West Ham way, John. What if?
You look at the games this season, and add up the points we're thrown away. We've drawn at home far too many games at home. The amount of draws we've got at home is incredible. You turn them in, cut them into wins. Where are you in the league? I did it the other night. I was sitting there being realistic about games we should have won, it was like 10, 12 points. It was a lot.
Yeah. No, too much.
The funny thing about it is that West Ham of the past, when they've had fairly decent top 10 finishes in the Premier League, because it used to be a marker, that was done off the back of 2 or 3 away wins. David Moyes has actually made us a better away team than an home team.
Well, he ain't got to worry about playing good football and appeasing the fucking home fans, is it?
No, but
this was also because he's set up. Moyes' setup
it's a counter-attack. It's
an away team setup.
It's away football.
You know, it's one of them what ifs. If only we could win 12 home games like we did under Roda. And win the
60 minutes.
Roda finished 7th, though. To be fair,
yes, but the problem with Nick was right. I think Nick was right. What he said. What Nick said last week. This season, what I just said earlier, the amount of points, like even last week, the amount of points teams are just dropping. It's incredible. I mean, it wouldn't have been. It's so frustrating because we should at least got 6th place easily.
It's a mad thing I see the other day was that we got the 3rd most points in the Premier League against the big 6 teams.
Which is even more frustrating.
Which is mad because we've took 14 points against those teams. Yeah. We took against Palace 1 point against Palace.
It's not
2 points against Bournemouth and no points against Fulham.
It makes perfect sense, Nigel, because we are 100% of the time a counter-attacking team, so we're comfortable when another team wants the ball.
Prefer teams. So the 2 biggest games at home where we've dominated the stats. We lost them both. I think Fulham and Everton. We actually had like 60% possession.
That's
and
never
everything.
Happened.
It has actually.
Actually, if you're looking at one game this season,
bloody
you know.
If you're looking at one game this season that cost us, it's a Newcastle game because not only did we throw a 3-1 lead away, Newcastle them 3 points. They had 3 points left. We'll have 3 points more.
That was a tactical fucking debacle. Taking off Antonio for Johnson or whatever the fuck he did there. That was ridiculous.
That collapse all starts with a terrible penalty decision.
Yeah,
and there is no tactic in the world that can account for that decision.
But who takes with 30 minutes to go takes your striker off and have
no
striker left
so you want him to rest players and rotate players, and when he does
you've got Danny Ings on the bench.
Why not bring a striker on for a
bring
striker
on?
Danny Ings don't play the same. But that you think that would change the outcome?
But
would that change the outcome?
You can't say yes or no.
You can't say it did or
I was there and I watched it. That penalty got given was nothing to do with Antonio. It was nothing to do with Danny Ings not being on the pitch. Whatever. That's
but then where's
it changes the momentum.
Mate, we swung it back in there. We swung it back in their favour, Nigel.
If they don't get a penalty,
Nigel, it's very simple. You just said we're a counter-attacking team. We removed our counter-attacking threat.
Danny Ings ain't a counter-attacking attacker.
Oh no! You don't bring. He brought another defender on and basically said, "Sit back for half an hour."
And what he done, it also rekindled Newcastle's season because up to then they were really struggling. And that game, sort of like, since then, they've won about 5 out of 6 since then. So it didn't do us any favours. Nice, can I ask you a favour when you got a minute? I know you're a bit of a stats man.
You'll have to ring me up in a couple of weeks then.
No, I was going to ask this question. Just have a look for me. My first ever game I went to, right, was first game of the season at home to Burnley, beat them 5-0 on a Monday night. It would have been late 60s, early 70s. I'd love to know what season that was. Would you happen to have a look when you got a minute?
Yeah.
Phillips, don't come on.
He will.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, Nigel has got something else as well, haven't you? A piece of memorabilia that he's found knocking about in his because honestly, it's like Aladdin's cave. It's like Aladdin's cave in there. Do you want to show us the latest little gem that you found, Nigel?
Well, we can do it then. There's a little history lesson here. You've got the photograph, Nick, have you?
I can put it up.
What I do is I've got it here. It's nothing. It's just a bit of paper. Yeah, it's just a meaningless bit of paper.
Well, it ain't no, is it? You little cheeky bastard.
Basically, the story behind it is you got to know the story of when West Ham was formed. When West Ham was formed, Thames Ironworks shut down. The committee that were running the club, Arnold Hills, deemed that they wanted public to buy into the club. He wanted the fans basically to set up the professional club and finance, put towards the finance. So they came up with they were going to sell shares in the club. And Hills was good enough to say for every share the public bought, that he would buy a share as well. So it went out to public sale. They put up 4,000 shares to be sold. They were 10 shillings each, which is 50p. So I think the average yearly wage was about 60 quid a year.
Right, okay.
Just to show
it puts it in perspective. Yeah.
And when you think of Canning Town in 1900, where predominantly the supporter base was from back then, Canning Town, Plaistow, Forest, that area, very deprived area. So to get to people to buy, that's why Arnold Hill said for everyone sold or whatever. So people did step forward. Now, what I found in my collection, I've had it, whatever, I can't remember how long I had it, is I've got a share certificate here. And the thing about this is when you read it, this is a share certificate that was issued in 1904.
Jesus.
Wow.
So Edward William Child is the person that bought this share. He lived at 47 Lucas Avenue, Upton Park, which was just behind Upton Park train station. Now you think he bought this in 1904. Maybe it's because we just moved to the Boleyn. He lived round the corner. He's now become a West Ham fan, started going to games. Now, it's signed by J. Grisdale, genuine signatures. J. Grisdale and Fundell. They were two of the. Grisdale was the chairman. He was a Scouser, but was a coppersmith in the East London. Yeah. Fundell was an estate agent, believe it or not. One of the original founders of West Ham United. But also, we got the original signature, Sid King. So Sid King actually issued this certificate. So he wasn't just a team manager. He's doing all the paperwork in the club and everything else. There's a piece missing. That's the seal. So the seal's missing because the share's been handed back into the club. Why is the share handed back into the club? Because in 1951, Edward William Child died, left the shares to his son. His son then has to return the certificate, and then he gets issued new certificates in his place.
Name.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the original 1904 certificate. He bought 2 shares, so he paid £1.
Fucking hell.
And the share numbers were 2354 and 2353. Why is that important? Well, there's 4,000 shares. Yeah. Yeah. And in 1904, they sold share number 2354 and 2353. So what that says is the take-up weren't that great, was it?
No.
Look, 4 years, because this is 4 years after.
Jesus.
But there you go. So it was the 13th of December when he bought the shares. So we'd been playing at Upton Park for 4 months. So Edward Charles, I've researched him. It'll be going out on 6'4" quickly. He was a teacher that worked for the West Ham, the Borough West Ham School Board. And he died in 1951.
Bloody hell.
And left the shares to his son, Cyril.
So do you know if that was to have the seal still on it?
Yeah.
Because, ownership is 9/10 of the law. Would you be a shareholder of West Ham?
No, because obviously what happens is that the West Ham as a company remained the same until 2006.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah. But there were other share issues, I think, that devalued what these shares were worth and everything. I remember watching a TV program in the 1990s, and they found a load of these old shareholders, like people like probably Eddie's son, and presented them with their shares to West Ham.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you would have been entitled to a share dividend, and the share dividend used to be 50p.
Oh, okay.
Per share. Yeah, 10p per share. And the club would have to pay it out. And if you didn't collect it for 10 years, the club would still...
So did you say in 4 years it only sold about
2,500 shares?
2,500 of them.
Yeah.
Imagine what it'd be like now.
And that's why...
I reckon it'd be gone now. If they'd done the same thing now...
So when we sold the club in 2006 to the Icelandics, the biggest shareholder, and we remember the shareholders are the owners of West Ham. People look at Terry Brown. He wasn't the owner, yeah? He was the chairman who was put in place by the owners. The owners were the shareholders. The biggest single shareholder.
He was like a Daniel Levy, wasn't he?
Yes. So the biggest single shareholder of West Ham was the Arnold Hills Foundation. Yeah?
He took a lot of stick, didn't he, Terence Brown?
Rightly so. the Arnold Hills Foundation was still the biggest shareholders of West Ham United when they were sold the club in 2006.
Bloody hell.
So there's the legacy. In 2006. The Arnold Hills Foundation were the biggest single shareholder. And another shareholder in 2006 who took a bit of coinage was a certain David Sullivan.
That's right. See, I never knew that. You revealed that a little while ago. That Sullivan's always had his, well, not always, but he's had his grubby paws on this for longer than we realised. Yeah, dirty bastard.
So there you go, people. It's a bit of a bona fide West Ham sort of history.
You're going to frame it?
Well, possibly.
No, I was going to ask you, do you think the club's DNA will ever change?
That's a tough question. Under the current ownership, no, I don't think it will.
Yeah, no. It seems like you look at Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea. I mean, you look at the fans. Some West Ham fans give me the ump because they talk like we're not a big club. We are a big club. I mean, in terms of like, you don't get 64,000 at home and not being a big club.
We haven't got big owners. That's the trouble.
We're a big supported club. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's always seemed to be like we always seem to fuck it up somehow.
Yeah.
If we could be winning the league with one game to go against a team that's relegated, we've got to win and we'd lose it.
Well,
it's always something about the DNA of the club. Whenever we have a good season, we'll always 86, for example, we nearly won the league that year, didn't we, Nige? Following you, and you got relegated.
Yeah. Well, the year before, people don't realise, the year before, 85, 86, we stayed up. And we actually stayed up because we beat Norwich in the last minute, 4 games from the end of the season. And when you look at the end of the season, we stayed up by 2 points, and the team that went down was Norwich. So if you gave Norwich 1 extra point, because it was a last minute goal from Bobby Barnes, come on as a sub. If you give Norwich 1 extra point and take 2 points off West Ham, we'd have finised third from bottom and gone down.
86 never happened, would it? Would never happen, would it?
85, 86 would not have happened.
God, bloody hell.
No. I mean, this is the thing, this is what with West Ham, it always seems to like. I remember in that game I was asking you about, my uncle took me the first ever game, beat them 5-0, walked out the ground, I was all like, top of the league. He said, don't worry, you won't be there very long.
A lot of people have been saying 1968. Have they been saying 1968?
26th of August,
he don't go anymore.
Yeah, 1968.
And I said to him, why don't you go anymore? And he said to me, because the club's got no ambition. He said, never has done it, never will have. And he said, and that was it. And so you've really got this thing about, you've got 2 types of West Ham fans, I think now, particularly now with social media. You've got the type of West Ham fans like Nick, and perhaps you, Nige, like you want to see attacking football, and you've got the other younger fans that perhaps have been spoilt the last 3 or 4 years. We've been hanging around the top 6 or 7, whether you're Moyes in or out. And they want to see the club back there. They want us to go back to. I remember one guy on one YouTube channel, and he said about the West Ham way, and he said like for years, I watched absolute dross. So it's very strange how different fans have got these different attitudes to the club. What
I don't understand is, and look, Nigel's going to take umbrage with this because he didn't have as much support as he should have got. So he'll turn around and say, well, if you got a problem now, you should have protested back then. But the fact of the matter is, we were sold a load of lies, and the fact of the matter is, they should be held to account to deliver on what they promised. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think that we should settle. I don't think it should be the case. Oh, look, they've delivered now. They've won us a trophy. What's that? Sorry,
it's just words. Did you ever really believe it?
Well, I think a lot of people did, or you wouldn't have moved from Upton Park.
I genuinely think a lot of people, if they believe anything comes out of Sullivan's mouth, I'll genuinely just think, I don't even bother listening to the geezer.
No,
because obviously it's all spill, it's all bollocks. It's all.
But people did believe it though, John.
Listen, what happened now? I don't want to piss on Gary's parade, But Gal, at your first game of the season, when we beat Burnley 5-0, West Ham were top of the league.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell. Top of the league. There you go.
Yes.
See?
Been downhill to Gary
But we didn't
since
say
then,
that,
isn't it?
Yeah. So it's all your fault, Gal. Fuck's sake.
What year,
All your
what year
fault,
was
Gal,
that?
rub-off him.
It was
What year was that?
1968.
26th of August,
68,
1968.
Yeah, Jeff Hurst,
Yeah.
Trevor Brooking, and Martin Peters
Yeah.
scored the goals.
I remember that. I can still remember that first ever game, walking into the gates off of Green Street. You never forget that first time, do you? It always sticks with you. Anyway, great show, lads.
No, thanks very much, Gary. That's great. We're gonna wrap up now ourselves because it is getting late.
Yeah.
All right then.
All right. Lovely stuff.
Cheers,
Yeah,
mate.
mate.
Right.
Bye, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Nick will be at the Dogging site next Sunday, same time.
Yeah. Right. Listen, very, very good to have you back, John. Thank you very much. A far more fiery show than I was anticipating. Cheers,
Well,
Micky.
you were. You love it.
No, I was looking forward to it, but then I started to get genuinely stressed.
Gary was doing this for about 3 minutes. Gary was going.
Oh, he was as well. I was starting to fucking I was disappearing up my own arse a little bit, but yeah. So but no, it was good. Like, look, at the end of the day, you are right in what you're saying. You're arguing. You're not arguing, like you said. You're not arguing your case for keeping David Moyes. You're saying this is how he could stay because of how the board look at it.
At the club.
At the club, yeah. That's how they look at it.
But as well, Nick, and I've said it before, is who knows what the majority of fans think like? Who knows what?
But there is a division.
There's a big split. There's a big split in the family. Yeah, but I know as many people that think the same as me. Yeah, fence sitters or whatever, and than I do.
But what do you think it will do if Moyes was to stay next season? How do you think it would affect the fans? Do you think it will get better or get worse?
Depends on the
new contract.
No word of a lot, and this is the thing. And this is why I always say there's always redemption, and why I say that as well is Boca, not because whatever. We've all seen West Ham over the years, yeah, and maybe because I do study the history and everything. I can go. Well, I can tell you seasons where actually we've done what we've done. Yeah, where we've won these. If he wins these last 2 games out of 3, so if he beats Chelsea and Luton, it puts the cat amongst the pigeons.
Meow.
Because if he qualifies for Europe again, and this is the funny thing, is if we do get 7th spot, it's more some of it's more down to the other teams failing than us succeeding.
He's won 3 games all year.
Forget that. But this is the thing. If we're
going back to it. We're going round in the circle here.
If we finish 7th, it gives us more opportunity to get a manager in because that'll be more appealing.
There you go.
There's that way of looking at it, but then there's the club's way of looking at it. Is that he's achieved what we set out to do.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
and they have been there before.
They delete some people.
They have been here, and this is another thing. What you fail to realise is they've been here before, and they know how badly it ended up for them.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Careful what you wish for.
Careful what you wish for, people. Keep hold of Moyes. Fucking 3 more years of this shit.
And Dodsey owes me a pint.
Amazing.
Dodsey owes me a pint because I did manage to get the word pasty in ages ago. To the conversation. So,
but Nigel, thanks for coming on. You took on the masses. I think you were. I'm gonna say.
I've got a lot of support on my WhatsApp, so I'll just leave it there.
Yeah, from Moyes in people, you will. Yeah, you will. Yeah. From the 5 Moyes in people, you will.
Always loving that.
Nigel, well put here from your friend Sean Whetstone.
Yes,
he ain't even text me.
Nigel, I'm incredibly pleased with the work that you've done this evening. It's very, very good. I'm going to let Mrs. Brady know. I'm going to send her a copy of the video.
Brady out.
Yeah, wait until tomorrow night.
Oh, you want
the podcast? You're going to be like, you've done really well there. I thought you
see
really well.
Did you see the photo of Brady in the Apprentice thing, sitting on the desk with a...
Yes.
Bob Bits.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, Sorry, what? She looked all right, Nigel.
What have I always said about Brady? There's only two good things about her that are worth anything: left and right.
Right. Okay. Time to go. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, I've got to go. I've got to get up at 5:30. You've got to be snoring.
Just going to play this one out for Nigel.
Well, I'd say that what MD's getting here with me is a very experienced Premier League manager. Arguably, there's only 2 or 3 who've got more experience, games in the Premier League. I think I've probably got the biggest win rate out of a certain amount of managers as well. So I think if you're putting it that way, that's what I do. I win. That's what I do. I win. That's what I do. I win. That's what I do. I win.
Ah, fuck, I've gone and pissed myself. What do I look like covered in this? I look like a fucking loser drenched in piss. I was gonna sing about yourself, but instead I went and pissed myself. At least I've not lost all self-respect until now, because, oh fuck, I've gone and shit myself. Well, would you look at this? I'm all covered in piss and shit. Just earlier I was looking swell, but by golly now I smell. And that's too bad, because I was gonna sing about yourself, but instead I shit and piss myself.